Hello, Valorant fans, and welcome to week 4 of the Victoris Rival Series Summer Split for 2022. Tonight, we're getting deep and dirty into this season, and we're going to have a spectacular showing on stream for you. Two Titans of Group B will be going head to head. ACT Gaming versus PGR. Both are currently undefeated, so it's looking like a top of the table clash lined up for us. And speaking of top of the table, we've got some top of the table casting talent joining us here tonight. My name is Tim Serbrook. I'll be hosting, and I'm joined by Soren and the delightful 1B. 1B, welcome back to the broadcast. It's been a great season so far.
Yeah, I'm excited for what's to come during playoffs. Every team that we've casted so far that we've had on screen has just been an absolute joy to watch, and I'm looking forward to I'm not looking forward to the end of the season, but I am looking forward most definitely to playoffs when we get there.
It'll be quite a time when we do get there. But first, we've got to get through weeks 4 and 5 to decide who's in playoffs. And we've brought on another guest caster this week, Soren. Welcome to the club. We're a big, happy VRS family. We're only getting bigger. How are you feeling about today's matchup?
Feeling really excited. Like you said, it's two giants right now this season. Both are 3-0. So I'm expecting some really, really good valor, especially as not team dropped a map yet so far.
Indeed. And we can perfectly illustrate that by looking at these. Oh, sorry, no, we're not going to do standings yet. We're going to talk a little bit about last week's matchup, 1B. It was another close match for V3 as they took on Nature's Wrath, but in the end, once again, they were able to get the job done on that third map.
Yep, they introduced to us a new player who we have not seen before. Stepping in for Savvy, we had Wheatley, who I felt like did an amazing job. Amazing as a job as a new player could do, filling in such big shoes. But the MVP for that matchup wasn't Sloth, who had an insane series. It was Heeker. It was the IGL. It was your Omen, your controller. He had an amazing match as well, and I felt like he was very, very impactful for their win. They had a little bit of a slow start on Ascent, were able to win it, then had a little bit of a shocker on Breeze, despite the agent composition really favoring them. NW really had some weird agent picks, though that is as far as I'm going to take it. Then on Split, it was a comfortable win, a comfortable sweep from them, and they looked like they were going to win it as soon as they picked up the first few rounds on Split.
Indeed, but also a valiant showing from Nature's Wrath there, and we saw a lot of new tricks being thrown at V3, giving them a run for their money. In particular, I was looking at Crane Train playing a lot of that fade, so a new agent to the game. Teams still trying to find exactly where she fits into the composition. As I know at the pro level, there is some fade also being integrated quite early on, but maybe on a map by map specific basis. We'll see how it plays out. Soren, what's your opinion on how Fade has been used, not just in VRS, but across the entirety of the Valorant ecosystem?
I think she's a breath of fresh air. I've been playing her a lot in my own games, but definitely watching her in like VCT and some other competitions. She offers a new take on initiators. I mean, we've seen the aggressive pushes come from Breach. We've also seen a little bit more of a sit back style of Sova, but Fade offers a little bit more team play as compared to either of those two. Able to really work with their team. If you can communicate well, you can push off her ultimate, push off the C's, as well as the Haunt, all really good team play utility that can just make it almost impossible for the enemy team to respond to it. So, like I said, breath of fresh air. You love to see it, and I can't wait to see if any agent or any player chooses to pull her out today.
And I can't wait to see the standings because I already accidentally tried to mention it before. But let's take a quick look at those. So V3, that win last week takes them to a clean 3-0, sitting well at top of the table in Group A. But 1B, it's quite open with the rest of the positions going into finals. That second, third, and fourth, not locked in not locked in by any teams by a long shot.
No, not at all. Only Team Greed, and also, if I can actually get the graphic here right because it's not showing up for me. Hingies are having a are on only one win, so obviously that third and fourth spot are very, very close knit. Goofy Goblins do have only 2 wins so far in the season, but I feel like they could lock in second place if they can just get one more win. If they can just get one more win this week. Um, I don't know. It's most definitely certainly really, really competitive in Group A, at least for the second, third, and fourth spot. if Goofy Goblins end up losing their next game, I feel like it can throw Group A for a loop, most definitely.
It's certainly going to be a very competitive group for them. But on the flip side, Soren, Group B, not so much. It seems the top teams are just running away with things and only leaving a little bit of wiggle room for the other remaining 3 teams.
You're absolutely right. It's a much closer competition over in Group B. Right now, you have 2 teams, as I mentioned. It's going to be ACT Gaming and PGR, 2 teams competing today, who are the only 2 left undefeated. However, while both of them are without a map loss so far in the competition, that's technically still true for Staring at Walls, who may be down a loss, but that's only because they had to forfeit last week to ACT Gaming. So well, it seems like it's a 2-horse race. Right now, we have 3 competitors who are really, really strong, leading the top of the table, which means that right now it's a real competition for fourth. So a lot closer, but still very, very interesting.
Indeed. You can see you saw down the bottom of the table, Tataka Breeze actually have all 5 of the results in. They have unfortunately had to drop out of the tournament. So that last 4 spots actually down to Phantom Thieves and Moose Whiskers, who, funnily enough, happen to be playing tonight. So really, we could see Group B, it's the top 4 teams, not necessarily the order of the top 3, being decided by the time this broadcast finishes. So very interesting way to end the series, season 5, to end the group stage for Group B right now. But that's by the by. We'll get to that next week when finals come around. For tonight, let's focus on the teams we have available, starting up with last season semi-finalist Soren, ACT Gaming, back with a vengeance, currently sitting top of the table. Walk us through this lineup.
Yeah, AC team, like I said, it's a really strong team. Right now, they're currently undefeated. They're technically 6-0 on the map count. Technically, one of them does come to a forfeit, but still a very strong start. This team is very long lasting. They started off in 2016. I believe it was Axridge and Haydu started out as competitors together in Black Ops 3 and Call of Duty. And since then, they've stuck together. They picked up some their friends from online, including Ecobat from in real life, and they formed this team. They've been grinding out, and they're showing what they got so far. They're tied at top of the table, and it's going to really depend on today whether or not where they finish in this season. So really strong start for them.
And PGR is a team 1B we've seen on stream before. Sorry, fantastic. I'm throwing you for a loop. I forgot to mention this one. So we've seen PGR on stream before. The first week, they started out with a clean 2-0. Can you tell us a little bit more about this team and how they've gone since then as well?
Yeah, so obviously the last split they participated in the spring. They qualified for the playoffs the same way that they're about to qualify this time. They were really high up in their group. They went all the way to the semifinals where they took on the eventual grand finalists and the winners of that grand final in Stop My Lag, where they came up just short in the last map. It was a 3-2 win for not at gaming, sorry, for Stop My Lag. PGR, they come back after last season looking to really grind it out. They've recruited a new coach. His name is Brady 6K, and unfortunately, he can't really participate because apparently he's that hyper ranked. So they have a little bit of experience in Valorant as their coach, and for a lot of teams in this level of Valorant, or even in any sort of like competitive video FPS game, coaches are a huge value. They mean a lot to these players because they can add insights and all that stuff. So for PGR, that's what they're going to be looking at from their coach today, or even for the rest of the season.
Indeed. And speaking of coaches, ACT Gaming have their coach in the game as well, Bartowski, sitting in that slot. So it's nice to see teams in this, certainly this kind of level range. I believe VRS has a Diamond 1, or it's a Diamond 1 or a Diamond 3 cap. So it's nice to see that even in this kind of structured play, teams are engaging coaches and they're looking to get. They're deliberately not just joining for fun, or they're joining for fun, but they're deliberately looking to see how do we make our team better. And you're getting that 6-person perspective, that bird's eye view of someone who's impartial, able to look at everyone's performance and say, okay, this is what we need to tighten up. This is the kind of strats we want to be running. It's a great sign for these teams as they grow. I know a lot of the teams in the competition actually are looking to grow to see where they match up at the current point against teams of equivalent rank, and potentially even look forward to other more open competitions, whether it be the VCT system itself. You could be looking at the Nursery Gamer tournaments, even VLS here at Victoris. So I like seeing these nice grassroots teams growing up, and one day, I could be watching VCT in a couple of years' time thinking, oh, back in my day, I watched these teams, I watched these players back when I was doing Victoris. That'd be a nice way to spend my retirement. But and you know what? Once after I'm retired, maybe I'll be cryogenically frozen, and I can see these teams, players coaching themselves. And why do I speak of cryogenics? Because we have our map pick bands in. I was too lazy to make a graphic for this. I apologize, stream. Our bands came through first. They were Breeze, Split, Bind, and Fracture. So we're not going to be seeing either of the two newer maps, but we do have the confirmed choices of Icebox, Haven, and then Ascent to close things out. Icebox, our first map of the day 1B. PGR will be defending first. Tell us a bit about this map, how it plays, and what kind of agents we're likely to see here.
Well, for Icebox, if I can actually pull up my notes here, because there have been some changes to it as of recently, but I'm not surprised to see it in the map pool. Not PGR, or I believe it was Act Gaming, actually have been playing this map every single match that they've been playing in. It's either Icebox, Split, or both of them in every single matchup that they've had so far in VRS Valorant. But Icebox itself, well, it's been around in the map pool for a while. It's had some changes back in, I believe this was 4.04, patch 4.04, where they recently made some quality of life changes. Especially the biggest ones are around the B site, where they moved the yellow crate, made it more parallel, and also changed some things around in the middle of the B site itself, making the bottom crate a little block in which they made a cubby in it, provide some more cover for plants, etc., etc. And then they also made some changes in B site, or not B site, the A site, where they made it easier to defend. But the way that this map operates is a very big map. It depends heavily on long range gunfights, especially in B and mid. In the A site, it's heavily dependent on attacker aggression. If you can hit that site hard, depending on what type of composition you have, if you have a KO, if you have a Reyna, you can just flash in. Those defenders will not know what hit them, and then boom, you hit that site, you get an easy spike down, and you probably will also kill a couple of players. Retakes are a hell but a heaven in paradise for the attackers, because post plants are easy to play on the A site especially.
Indeed, and Soren, we've seen a little bit of the meta change with the change, not only to some of the agents, a la Chamber and Jet nerfs, also the changes to the map. Do you expect these teams? What kind of agents do you expect to see from these teams come out?
Well, like you said, there have been a few changes to the map. However, especially with the agent change, I really don't think there's going to be all that much of a change in the agent selection, and on Icebox. Fade is getting a lot more play, but right now, as Wumpy said, there's a lot of long range fights, and Silver Utility is still really good on Icebox. There are a lot of good lineups that give away a lot of information, as well as the shock darts can cause a lot of damage when they get hit right onto the right target. So I'm still expecting to see Sova. I'm still expecting to see Chamber, because even though they did nerf Chamber a little bit in the last patch, they really only nerfed the Sentinels, or the Sentinel side of him, excuse me. So he's still probably the best duelist in the game. The only real change that I think we could see, probably maybe not the use of a jet. Like I said, Chamber's is still the best opper in the game, so he is oftentimes used in place of jet, which allows Raze and Reyna to come out. Reyna has been used a lot on Icebox in recent patches, so maybe you see a little bit of the change up in the duelist, have Chamber fit that Sentinel or the more opping role, and maybe, just maybe, we'll see a more traditional Sentinel. Cypher's been getting a lot of play on Split. KJ's been getting a lot more play recently, now that the two trademarks are gone on Chamber. So possibly a new Sentinel, possibly a change in the duelist, but overall I still think that the meta is going to be pretty consistent here. You're still going to see Sova, probably maybe even still a Breach.
And I think what you mentioned there, the changes to the Jet and the Chamber particularly will come into sheer perspective for PGR. I know they like running both of those agents. We saw them in week 1, Cheese Wedge taking up that jet roll, runs a lot of jet related paraphernalia as well. The little avatar image, the banner, whatever you call it. I believe they were the one with the jet operator as well. We saw Obama Fortnite was a stellar performer on the chamber, particularly on Breeze 1B. They were often holding down. Not going to be seen tonight, but just more from playstyle wise, often holding down beats on their own, either with the operator in hand or the tour de force, were truly a force to reckon with as an anchor. So I think the changes play well into them. And also Zi-Fi was quite a standout player. I think did really well on all maps, maybe a little bit overshadowed on both of the maps they played, but across that entire series, they were extraordinarily consistent on that KO. Do you think we'll be seeing more Zi-Fi KO on me, or perhaps we're going to have to experience a little more of the agent pool given this particular map setup of Icebox Haven and Ascent?
It depends on if PGR are willing to experiment. This is a crucial game for them. I don't think they're going to want to experiment or push sci-fi off of the KO role. KO, especially for the type of composition that PGR usually go for, I think he would be way too crucial for them to give it up for somebody else. Flashes are so good on Icebox. I don't think nobody will disagree with me on there. Another thing to note is the jet. I could see Cheese Wedge going off of the jet and maybe going on for arena. So maybe we'll see double flashes. And the reason why I say that is because of the way that Jet's tailwind has been nerfed quite harsh. Not but kind of yeah, harshly is the correct word I can use to say it. In which you have to be a little bit more decisive and you have to pick the right scenarios in which to activate your tailwind or your dash.
That's cool. We're just organizing the players. So we've got everyone in the lobby. We're just trying to figure out which server is the most appropriate. It seems just based on looking at these pings, so you won't be able to see it on stream, but quite a wide dispersion of players given the variance in ping. So it's nice to see these teams, no matter where they're located, able to come together and have a good time, across the country. So I'm just chatting at the teams, chatting in chat. So looking at this top of the table clash, as we get deeper into the season, I'll direct this one at you, Soren. Both of these teams have pedigree in the VRS. They made deep runs into the playoffs last season. Do you think there's the way the groups are going and the way the teams are playing? Do you think the experience is now starting to show for teams that have come back versus teams that are new to this season? And what would that experience give to teams having already played in a previous VRS?
Yeah, absolutely. Experience means a lot. I mean, you're seeing a lot of really good teams in like VCT and other competitions who are much younger, who are really performing well. But at the end of the day, experience matters so much. You could be a fresh team, but without that experience, without having those games that go long, the seasons that run long, it starts taking a toll on you. So as we get later and later, those teams that have that experience on hand and know how to deal with it are really going to start shining like the diamonds in the rough, especially the players who have been around for a while. I think, I talked about it before, but ACT have two players who've been playing competitively, not in Valorant, obviously, because it was since 2016, but have been playing competitions now for a long time. So as we get later into the season, these players are really going to start showing their stuff and really showing what that experience really means. So absolutely. I really think experience is going to define the rest of the season.
And it'll be especially important going to playoffs 1B. At the moment, teams have the option to ban at least 2 maps out, and they will see 4 out of the pool. Once we hit those playoffs, 5 map series is coming in. So not only do teams have to have the endurance to potentially last a 5 map series, their map pool has to be pretty good as well, because they won't necessarily be able to take out 2 or 3 maps they don't like. There are only 2 bans at that point.
Endurance has to be good for the players, but also for production as well, because we can have series that run to 2 a.m. I'm telling you. But like, no, on a serious note, though, you've seen this be discussed also in professional play as well as in these T4 amateur competitions. Having a really weak and limited map pool in a best of 5 series, is just not the way to go. You need to be able to experiment and go out of your comfort zone to try new maps and maybe adjust them the way that you want them to be adjusted. Even if you don't like Split, even if you don't like Bind, you should still try those maps out. And even if you can't be the best at it, try your best to be, well, as good as you can, because it's better than nothing and then blocking out those maps until we get into playoffs. So again, having a weak map pool is just not the way to go, especially in a best of 5 series, no matter what level of competition you're in.
Well, we'll get a chance to find out exactly what these teams have available to us shortly. I should have gone Prodder, but it looks like you're ready. Oh dear, I've just clicked the play now button. I said error, cannot start game. This is going to be interesting. Oh dear.
Oh, Valorant.
Please, Phil, while Bandasic and I figure this out.
Well, okay. We do head on to our first map of Icebox Soarin', and like we said, we expect the way that it be played. It's a long range map, especially towards mid and B. Really operates the same way. It operates in the same way that it is a long range site. But also, if you're able to hit those sites fast with flash grenades and even flashes and the such, you can catch the defenders off guard is the word that I'm looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. Flashes are really helpful as well as the smokes. I mean, they're utility that define the way the map's played, especially on Icebox. I mean, it is a very long range map, so the best way to deal with those long ranges is to just cut them. You know, if you can control what the enemy sees, you have complete control of the site. That's why we're seeing a lot of Viper be used. Viper back in the day was one of the weakest agents in the game, but once we started figuring out how to use our smokes effectively, get them into a advantageous position, figure out which walls are the most effective. Once we got those down, she became almost unplayable on like 80% of the maps, if not 100% of them. So, you know, if you can figure out how to use that utility to the most advantageous ways you can, then it really will decide how the map is being played.
And you'll get a chance to see exactly which agents are being selected. Icebox is a go. Casters, take it away.
All right, Icebox it is. And for the agent select, we talked a little bit about Fade. We talked a little bit about Reyna. We talked a little bit about Sova, KO, etc., Chambers, and all that boring stuff. Another agent that I am expecting to see here is a Sage. She's really crucial on the attack, plus on defense as well. For the attack, she can block off defenders' rotations where they're trying to retake site. For the defense, she can block off attacker entrances into the site and then force them to rotate somewhere else and waste their time just a little bit more, especially with those slow orbs in play.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to see Sage come out. We're actually going to see identical teams. We're going to have a Viper, a Chamber, Sova, KO, and Jet, which are all very similar. We didn't really talk about KO much in the pre-show because KO has just kind of been like the staple. But that also hasn't really been adjusted all that much. But with that utility, makes them a really, really good pick to be really aggressive. Excuse me. So really excited to see what these teams have in store for us as we get underway.
Pistol round is always the most important round because, well, you win that first pistol round, then it sets you up for the second, and you can have a quick 2-0 just like with the snap of my fingers. I'm not going to snap my fingers because I'm a little bit too lazy to do that right now. But anyways, regardless of that, both teams are picking the KO, so the flash is obviously going to be very, very important when aggressively pushing the site, or even those fragment grenades are going to be useful for slowing down these pushes, slowing down these attackers, where Zi-Fi is planted at. For example, he can just quickly throw out a grenade by green, and these attackers will stay off of the push. The first recon bolt is going to be used from the side of Act Gaming, and they're going to use it towards A. So obviously, it's going to be a heavy A push.
You are absolutely right, and the push has already come out. We see the KO knife come out, not find anything as the rendezvous comes out from Obama Fortnite, and the push is through. They're on site already. Obama Fortnite picks up the opening kill. Though, the retake seems to stall a little bit as they fully rotate, they pull off of site, and suddenly, site is no longer in control. It's being contested by both sides. The half defuse does come out, trades all around, utility keeping the defenders from proceeding with the defuse. Pike picks off one. Oh, the defuse almost gets finalized. It's down to milliseconds, but not quite there. Headhunter's still available for Pike. Is going to catch Cheese Wedge off on an off angle, but won't get the kill. And as time ticks down, they're going to run for their lives. The last two on site trade, but no one gets out alive. We are going to finish with no agents left on the board, but that is round one over towards ACT.
A little bit unfortunate though for PGR. They look to win that first round, and unfortunately for the Sova of No Monkey, getting on that defuse, getting it to halfway, almost getting it all the way done. Cheese was just a little bit late on the swing to cover him fully, but overall a good round for the side of PGR. Able to, not PGR, sorry, Act Gaming. They're able to just attack the A site quickly, like I said, starting off with the KO flashes and then able to get a knife back there and the recon dart just to give a little bit of intel. Now their focus seems to be, well, it looked to be a full green push, though they're aggressively taking gunfights in mid, and the first kill goes into Axway.
Axford with a nice opening pick. Cheese Wedge tried to push up aggressive. Didn't find anything but a bullet. Pike picks up Sci-Fi with the Headhunter. Two defenders down, both leaning towards B, so they're just going to take the opportunity to push. So the rotation is going to come out. Timing is everything. Lavia is going to try to push through, maybe stop the plant, but the plant's already stopped. And Herdo picks them up. 5v1 now. Axford and Iffy just picked him up, and that's a dominant. I was going to say that it was not the best position for ACT to lose all their members in the first round. It doesn't matter because they save all their members in the second round, so they'll be in a fine spot to full buy next round.
For PGR, though, they are going to full buy as well, and technically this is the bonus round for Act Gaming. 2 Spectres, 2 assault rifles, and a Marshal on the board, so they're not going to invest too much inside of this round. This round is expected to go PGR's way, though, and a little bit of a note, kind of off rip, since X-Rid is 3-1, 3 kills, 1 death. He was the MVP. He was voted MVP last season for VRS Valorant, and there's split. Cheese Wedge finding the opener, though, as he's looking to make his role known as a Jet player, getting the first pick. Though there goes the quick trade onto the A site from the fragment, grabbing the Sova, playing high up on those middle crates, though. Obama Fortnite sneaking towards these attackers in the ropes, and Axford probably going to be the first one to come into contact if that change is a little bit too far. He does get the first pick, though, and it's now a 4v3 man advantage for the side of PGR.
Nice opening picks here. Cheese Wedge gets their second for the round, and it's going almost exactly how you would expect it to go. 4 rifles still left standing on the defense, while there's only a Vandal and a Spectre. They're going to run right into the Vandal of Lavia, who's going to pick up 1. Snakebite's going to come out, prevent them from pushing down mid any farther. They do have a Vandal in hand, so Pike can do some damage, but it's going to be limited at best. Gunfire comes out, but just getting hit from all sides, and Sci-Fi comes through kitchen to finish them off, and round 3 ends almost exactly how I'd expect it. This is going to go the bonus round over towards PGR quite confidently here, but we're going to see a full buy come out.
Seems to be the same site yet again. In round 2, I believe it was, yes, for Act Gaming, they were able to confidently take the B site. Now this time their attention is going towards that A site, and what I really like about the way that they're setting up, they have all 4 of these, or well, all 3 of these players towards the belt/rope areas. A player hanging about in mid, and then another player in the chambers lurking around the garage area. The knife is going to see if there's any potential lurk or players over by green, but nobody is up until the chamber is moving up upon that area. Again, looking for some rotations from the side of Act Gaming, or not Act Gaming, from the side of PGR if they choose to make it. The first kill might go their way, but no, it's Sci-Fi to catch Pike off guard. The spike, though, is going to rotate from ropes towards B as another kill goes into PGR's way.
Yeah, that's 2 opening picks, and not only that, but it's 2 very influential opening picks. Axrid and Pike, the 2 top fraggers for ACT. That's going to be a massive hit to the fragging potential. But The attack will stall briefly, though. They're going to poke and prod, see what they can do. Lafia is waiting for them. Obama
Spike
Fortnite
down,
does
attacker
pick
spawn.
off Ecobat. Fia is just walking through
One
the
enemy
spot.
remaining.
If he take them down, and suddenly, Heydu is the last one standing, and Zi-Fi pushes through, picks them off. And that's a flawless round. You know, I always say that the first 3 rounds of the game really are inconsequential. No matter what happens, it usually ends up 2-1. It's very rare that you see a bonus go into the way of a team with a Thrifty. But as we get into these meat potato rounds, just like last round, where it's going to be these full buys, it's really going to decide how the rest of this game goes. And if that last round is any indication, it's going to be a good game for PGR.
Yeah, PGR just adjusting to what Act Gaming are bringing to them. Again, they're attacking the A site, but PGR are already adjusted to this. They're already adjusted to the A site aggression or unaggression from Act Gaming. The point is that they've adjusted, and Act Gaming, well, it's only been a couple of rounds, but they haven't really adjusted to these defenses so far. PGR having a great time on their defenses, and since this is a force buy from the side of Act Gaming, well, as I say that, they get the first pick. Axford might get a second. That's a second kill on a Blade Storm, but still, this round could go PGR's way, especially, oh god, that snake fight and another kill. And there goes Pike to make this a 3v2, so it is still winnable for them.
I was going to say it's all falling apart, but that pickup is really massive for them. Heydu with the Sheriff is able to take a cheese wedge. Zi-Fi, the only one left, has Vandal in hand, so technically is outgunning them, though Bladestorm and Tour de Force are still online. You know, only one bullet would decide who would win that round, but I say bullet, forgetting that the Bladestorm even exists. Axrid with a 3K converts the Thrifty round. What a round. What a statement from them. Never count them out.
Act Gaming didn't invest a single credit in that round, but what they did invest is in their ultimates. 2 ultimates used from the Jets, and plus the Chambers, the Tour de Force, and the Bladestorm not being able to use this round because, again, they used it last round. Now the Viper's Pit, though, is in hand for Ecobat. And, well, Act Gaming, they're 3-2 up. They could easily take this round if they're able to clear these players out in A, then establish the Viper's Pit in A. They could easily take this round because retaking into a Viper's Pit is now a choice. But as I say that, the Viper is down so early on, so the Viper's Pit won't be an option this round.
No, but the operator in the hands of Obama Fortnite is going to be a massive influencer in this round, as it's only pixels away from making contact. I say that, but Heydu spots them before they get the chance to use it. Operator is down. ACT have a pretty good control of sight. They still need to get spiked down, but with that kill on the Zi-Fi over towards B, the rotation seems to come out. Axford actually has spike in hand, so they'll be able to get it down with very little resistance, though the rotation needs to come a little bit quicker, as Lafia is already over by Snowman. ACT, though, are in their spots, ready to hold this site like their life depends on it, but it's going to be a tough task for PGR 4v3. They're going to have to find some entry if he's making it difficult, though. Taking down No Monkey, though Pike finishes them off, gets the last 2, and secures round 4 for them. And I said that that 3rd round, or the 4th round, was that meat and potatoes round that was really going to decide how the rest of this map is played, but ACT are proving me wrong, and despite getting flawless in the first full buy round, they are showing a very strong performance here.
Most definitely. PGR, well, will they be able to full buy? No, they won't. 2 players are forced on their pistols, but guess what? 2 of those players also have their ultimates ready. Cheese Wedge having the Blade Storm, Obama Fortnite having the Tour de Force. And since Obama Fortnite dropped the operator last round, he will be able to use an even better one in the Tour de Force. He's gonna get a shot off, but Rendezvous on out of there. No Monkey pulling out the Hunter's Fury, and as I say that, PGR, they have all of their ultimates online. 1 player dies and falls. Obama's dead. on Heaven. Cheese Wedge can't even use his Blade Storm because the null command is out from Iffy. He's shut down, and A-Site is heavily in control of Act Gaming. The last player alive is going to be Zi-Fi. He does have his null command ready, but I doubt he'll pop it in this round. It'll be a huge waste. He's gonna swing onto the screen. The pop blast comes out, and he gets a double kill onto Axrid and Iffy, and he's now in a 1v situation.
No suppression for the Viper. The Viper's pit stays online. Zi-Fi, you said it would be a waste, but right now this null command might be enough. They'll hear the flash from the left, but the fake out comes to the right. But Ecobat's not falling for that, not for a second. And they pick off Zi-Fi. You put up a really good fight there, really showed some good skill, but at the end of the day, the round goes towards ACT, and that's 5-2 here. PGR, excuse me, really have to pull something out because at this point, the snowball is starting to grow larger and larger.
That was an expensive round from PGR as well. Well, not in the way of credits, though. They had to use 3 of their ultimates. Monkey using the Hunter's Fury, Fortnite using the Tour de Force, and the Blaze Sword coming out from Cheese Wedge. So a lot of ultimates used in that round, and they still lose it. Now PGR looking to get a round in because, well, they're 5-2 down. They're on a force. They are on their 2C. If they're able to, well, win this round and also steal a couple guns from the attackers, they could find themselves in such a good spot. Next round, Pike gets a double to start off this round for Act Gaming. Might get himself a triple. There you go, boy. And now he's in on his B site, but the spike is rotated all the way to A. He gets a 4th. He might as well just give him the ace. Go ahead and give him the ace, No Monkey. No, I'm kidding, but like, he's gonna die. But like, there you go. It is a 1v4 for No Monkey. He does take off Pike off the board, so that removes a Vandal from Act Gaming that they will have to rebuy next round. But the spike is planted towards A.
Yeah, no, and I know you said it last time, but it's really probably not going to be worth the investment here to go and try to retake site. So, No Monkey's feeling a little bit confident. Does find one, though they are getting pincered in. They know exactly where they are, and you can see that it is on the hunt, can feel the loss of a friend, and though No Monkey did kind of catch the barrel of Axrid as they came out the door, it was not noticed, and Axrid is able to pick up the final kill, and here we go. This is what I was saying earlier, they really need to take a step back, because now it's 6-2, we have 4 rounds in a row on the board for them, and they really need to just take a step back, get this mental reset, because if they continue at the rate they're going, the snowball is going to get bigger and bigger, and it's going to get harder and harder for them to get back into this game.
A much needed timeout from PGR just due to the fact that not only are they 6-2 down, but also their economy is suffering for it. And with that being said, they are going to full buy into this round. But if they lose this round, they might as well just go ahead and start preparing a force buy for the next round. Again, they've been using their ultimates, but they have been losing these rounds. And it happened a couple of rounds ago in round 7, where they used 3 of their ultimates. Again, they used the Hunter's Fury, they used the Tour de Force, they used the Blade Storm, and it was all for naught. And it's been, after that round was lost, you expected them to lose the round after that because it was a force buy from them. So now they have a chance to make amends for that, because if they lose this round, they might as well kiss the next round goodbye, because they would be at a heavy economic disadvantage.
Absolutely here, and the economics is really going to take a play into this game. Right now, this is the first full buy. I think you mentioned this is going to be the first full buy that we're going to see with the operator back into the hands of Obama Fortnite. Wasn't able to find any value in it when they first pulled it out. I think it's round 4, so they're going to try to do something with it. Lafia is going to pop the Viper's Pit over on A, completely shutting that down. Operator will be used on top of Yellow. Will be using, just get rid of the Sova drone, but then will be used efficiently to get rid of the Sova as well. Meanwhile, Cheese Wedge, is pushing up through mid, completely cutting off the possibility of this rotation, though. Seeing this Viper's Pit, they're completely unfazed. You know what they'll do? They won't go through it, they'll just go over it, right over the ropes, right on the 310, and they're just going to push through. Iffy is in the pit, but won't get spotted out. They're on site, and Lafia is just surrounded by enemies. They don't know they're there. They have no idea, in fact. Though, The pit will
Spike
drop.
planted.
The spike will go down. The field by 1. Though he does go down. Axford picks up kill as well. With Iffy coming up massive 2 kills for the round.
Last
But
player standing.
was used to cut off the rotation, but there's no need for anymore. Push through, gets the kill in the back, and it's a 1v2 situation now. Health does kind of favor Sci-Fi. We've
player
seen them
standing.
put up some numbers before, and that Molly is such a good position. Gets Effie, 1v1 situation. Still a lot of utility on the board. Sci-Fi pushes through the flash, won't find anything. The repel will give away the location, and Axrid swings around, gets the final kill, secures the round, and like you said, this is going to be a massive hit. They invested a lot of economy into that, including an operator. So while they should be able to just about full or half buy, it's going to be a massive hit in the later stages of this game.
Yeah. Now we will have to see. Sci-Fi does have its own command ready, and one thing that I've been liking from At Gaming so far is their ability to not really just only hit a site hard, but the way that they're using their ultimates in order to make these rounds work in their favor. Well, not
You
really
want
their
to
ultimates,
play?
but their
Let's
utility
play.
mainly. Now the Twitter Force is going to come online for Pike. This would be the perfect time to pop a null command maybe on the B side, because that's where the main focus for PGR is. As I say that, Sci-Fi takes a lot of damage. Axrid, as I get his name all mixed up, is down as well. So now we're back at an even man count. So this 50 might just work for PGR. It's looking like it. Obama Fortnite gets a headhunter kill, gets traded out. Hado gets a double with that trade. Now we're at a 3v2 mid advantage for At Gaming.
Not only that, but the health advantage is
Last
there.
player
The KO with
standing.
minimal left.
Spike
Doesn't matter
planted.
because Zyphire's just going to get taken out. Stinger in the hands of Lafia is going to try to make something happen. Swap over to the Champions Vandal. Skins get wins, but I don't think you're going to win this round regardless. But they know their location, and if you can pinch it in, they'll get spotted by the knife. Though, if he gets taken out, done a little bit of damage, excuse me. Lafia still only up against 2. They don't know where the last 2 are. Will spot 1, gets a little bit of damage in, but takes a significant amount of damage themselves. 48 health remaining. Working with scraps and Eco Ball bat. Oh my, I'm having a stroke. Eco bat swings around through the side and gets the final kill. The T on my screen a little bit too small. I thought it was an L there.
You know what? At Gaming, they found some momentum, and it's obvious, it's evident on the scoreboard. 8-2 on their icebox attacks, and PGR haven't found a way to adjust to these attacks. Whether it be on A, whether it be on B, it's mainly been on the A side where they've been hit the hardest. And they're looking a little bit bruised. They're looking a little bit beat up here. They're getting their butts kicked on this ace site mainly. Cheese Whiz though might make a difference on his flank, but he's being pressured from 2 players. It's going to almost be shut down as he's able to use the dash to get the hell out of there. Now they are going to rotate towards B, but the main person who's watching this angle is going to be the Chambers of Obama Fortnite with the Guardian, not the Headhunter. He does have 1 more point before his Tour de Force is ready though, so if he wants to invest it for the next round, he most definitely can, because that next round is actually the last round before the half, and PGR, they need as many rounds as they can get before we get on that half, whether that be 9-3 or whether that be 9 or 8-4.
And they need to put something together here. Ultimates will be invested by Axe. The Hunter Fury comes out, will spot Lafia. Eco Bat, I got the name right this time, will get the kill. Zyphi is trying their best to hold strike down. They will pop the no command to do so, but will get taken out from
30
mid.
seconds left.
And Monkey is going to respond with their own Hunter's Fury. Will get the kill on Pike, and 2v3 Zyphi will finally go down. The res does not come out, which means 2v2 Spike gets planted. And now Spike is hit as well. No Monkey and Obama Fortnite going up against EcoBat and Heydu. They're gonna have to make some magic happen
enemy
to
remaining.
pull back some rounds. No Monkey is starting off the trend. 1v2. They're gonna have to play around this smoke though. EcoBat gets spotted. The drone, it lasts for so long and can't get away from it. No Monkey gets the kill, picks up the 4K for the round, and that's exactly what they needed to get into this.
Good little pinch to pinch Viper in her own Viper's Pit. That was the correct time for EcoBat to use that Viper's Pit as well, because if they were to put themselves 9-2 up, well, then they have the next round to look forward to, and that would have most likely been a force from PGR if I am correct. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I am right. Anyways, yes, now that we head into the last round before we end up swapping halves, we have PGR in a little bit of a predicament. Again, this is another round where it's kind of crucial for them to claim it, because they need as many rounds on the board as possible before they go onto their defensive half. They have full bite as well. They only have one ultimate on available, and that's on Obama Fortnite, who I think is going to use the tour de forces. Yeah, he is, because it is the last round before we do make the swap where the economy resets. But the B site is going to be the it site though from Act Gaming. Oh, the Iffy pulls out the null command, and it doesn't reach Obama Fortnite because he's able to get a kill with this tour de force. He could have gotten another one, but it eventually reaches him as Iffy gets close enough. Iffy is down. Another kill is on the board, this time for PGR. There goes one for Pike, as they did invest in this round for an operator. Blazestorm as well as that X-Grid does get, oh my god, Cheese Wedge gets a kill, not only on his doppelganger, but also on Iffy, so that takes out the KO. Now they're on the spike. Snakebite does go out to stop that defuse. Eco Ball in a 1v1 situation gets that kill onto Lafaya. The toxic screen goes back up. They're both playing ring around the Rosie, or actually no, not pocket full of kills. Cheese Wedge gets back on the diffuser, and it is a clutch, a 1v2 clutch from EcoBet as we head onto the half. A 9-3 half from Act Gaming. It can't get any more dominant than that. Well, it can.
It technically can, but it was quite a dominant performance there. You saw PGR were able to bring a round back, but it cost them a lot of utility, a lot of ultimate points to do so. So Act is coming into this second half quite confidently. PGR are really going to have to show off a lot of skill and a lot of grit and determination to pull this back. Though, look at the scoreboard. We all know, I don't even have to say it, the 9-3 curse is a thing. It affects all Valorant players. So you never know, it might come back. But right now, it looks like we're going to have a push over towards A. And it looks like it's going to be pretty aggressive. That's going to be a 5-man push. They're going to get stalled a little bit by the Sova Recon Dart. They're actually going to be running into 3 members of the defense. So it's going to be a tricky take. But they are not scared at all. They're just going to push right through. Who needs utilities? Cheese Wedge is going to open proceedings, take out Axery. The 2 Jets taking out each other. Heydu and Lafia pick off one another as well. That's 2 down for either side. 3v3. Spike does start going down. 3v2 as one of the defenders left standing. Heydu tries to take out No Monkey, but not quite there. Though the damage from the Whiff Shock Dart is going to cause damage. Obama Fortnite, last attacker left standing, will get the sneaky kill with the classic, pick up the ghost, and we have Ring Around the Rosie, just like you said. Obama Fortnite is watching the spike, waiting patiently, and will get spotted out. How did he miss that? EcoBat somehow sneaks through, and despite whiffing a few shots, is able to secure the kill and get the defuse. That was such a weird round, but at the end of the day, it goes to ACT. So, it's how the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Yeah, 10-3 up for ACT was definitely a weird situation at the end there. I was very confused. I was more or less reacting to EcoBat almost like potatoing, but both of them had some really weird moments with one another. I wasn't sure what EcoBat's perspective looked like, but that was most definitely one of the more awkwardest gunfights that I've ever seen in Valorant in my short time of watching this game. Overall, 10-3 up, and now this second round is almost guaranteed for Act Gaming, just because of the fact that they bought SMGs versus the pistols on the side of not pistols, sorry. PGR most definitely did invest this round. I was not paying attention, and the first kill also goes their way. That is your A site player mainly dead, and that's also KO. That's your flasher dead as well, and we know how good KO can be on this map, especially with his fragments on the defense.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Missing that KO is going to be a massive piece of initiation that is going to be missing a key piece of the puzzle. But it doesn't matter. There's no monkey despite playing this over, playing a little bit farther back. Does get the opening pick and the retake. 5 attackers left standing. Make that only 4, as it is a 4v2. Astrid tries to level it out, takes sci-fi, removes the KO of their own.
One enemy remaining.
For the push. Will spot Axrid, the last remaining defender. With the Stinger, tries to push through though. Stinger versus the Frenzy will go into the, or not Frenzy, excuse me, the Spectre will go into the way of the Spectre. But it's still a tall order for Axrid to pull this out. Push to the smokes, try to be all sneaky like though. Obama Fortnite is just waiting patiently and was gonna try to get the sneaky knife kill, but no monkey showed some mercy and took them out with bullets as you would expect.
PGR knew that round was a round that they needed, and instead of doing the usual trend of when a team wins the first round, you don't really invest as much in the second, they knew they needed that round, so they invested as much as they knew that they could, buying Stingers, buying Spectres, and I think I even saw a Marshall on the board, and they rolled over that B site defense like it was no tomorrow. So many of the first opening picks were going their way as a result of that. But now on this side, it looks to be, since we are going to have a force or a bit of a janky buy from the side of Act Gaming, and Shorties as well, they're playing so far up on this belt's position, but nobody from PGR is going to meet them. Most of these players are heading, well, one player is in the kitchens area, or sorry, not kitchens, but near kitchens in mid. And also, the rest of them are heading to B from green. The tour de force coming out from Obama Fortnite as he's looking to hold down the long angles, hold down Snowman, hold down the middle of the B sites with it.
Absolutely right. I mentioned it before, but this Viper Wall is being used to such great effect. Cutting off these angles. So much utility is being used. Everything is being thrown at the wall. Sci-Fi picks up Axrid. Eco-Bat with Shorty finds one. That's disgusting. They're all fighting by yellow. It's a brawl. The Shorty gets to do somehow.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
Tries to get the final kill. 1v1 situation, but not quite enough. Sci-Fi, the last man standing, finishes, picks up what would normally be the bonus round, but was very costly. And here, looking at it, it looks like they might not be able to pull the full buyout that they would like to.
No, not. Woo. We do see rifles on the board for both of these teams. And, well, Cheese Wedge is the only one in the lobby at the moment. Come on, Cheese Wedge, get with the program. He's the only one in the lobby without a full shield. But that doesn't matter because both of these teams have guns. So this round will be the one where both of these teams go for. The Viper's Pit is already being used as well from Act Gaming, where it's going to actually block off the entrance from ropes into the A site. So a well-placed Viper Pit, that's usually where the Viper Pit goes if the defense is going to use it. It's either right there in A or towards, I'm thinking in the middle of the B site, just so that they can deny the plant from ever happening. Now, the only ultimate that I see on the side of PGR is actually going to be, okay, Lafaya with his own Viper's Pit. So both of the Vipers having their Viper's Pit ready to use in this round, only one of them bringing it online.
The attack has stalled quite quickly as they looked at B, poking, prodding over towards B, couldn't really find any entrance there. So they moved over towards A and ran into a Viper's Pit, and not quite as ready to push through it as Act was in the last half. Lafia tries to push through and see if maybe they can get a sneaky entrance over through kitchen. Not quite able to, as the trademark gives away their location. So the poking and prodding only gets them so far. Meanwhile, Act just slowly push farther and farther forward, just pinching what little space PGR have to move. They are defending site quite well. Only 10 seconds left on the clock. No one was paying attention. They're running out of time. They need to spike down quickly. Heydu finding a lot of value. Just about enough time. I say that. They have to invest all that time into the plant. Gives enough time for Heydu and Pike to just push through and remove them systematically from site. That's round 11, and that is what ACT need get back into this game and secure the final rounds.
CC getting their 11th round of the board, and well, you can pat Ecobat on the back there because that Viper's Pit probably was the figurehead that was distracting PGR for most of that round. They were clearly so mesmerized by the Viper's Pit that they just could not move a single inch towards anywhere else. They didn't want to force a rotation towards B. Instead, they were very stubborn in their decision to attack A, and it became their demise. Now their decision is going to attack B, but well, it's a bit of a janky vibe from them. 2 rifles, whoa, one of those rifles being dead. Axrid is absolutely insane, gets 3 kills by Green, and that's your B push totally demolished. Though that was a janky vibe from At Gaming, they clearly did not have the intel to operate inside of Green. They pushed it anyways, not knowing that Axrid was there, and that's why you see 2 kills, or 3 kills, go his way. Now it's a 1v5 situation. Axrid gets his quad, and it's a flawless for ACT Gaming.
It all falls apart. Round 12. They have no economy. They're going to have to pull scraps together, use every cent they have, but it's not going to be enough. They're only going to be able to pull out a few sheriffs, a Spectre, and just like that, it's looking all but confirmed from Gaming.
Yep.
PGR are going to have to pull a miracle out to stay into this game. And right now, it looks more and more like they're just going to push to map 2 already. So we are going to start our proceedings. Hunter's Fury is immediately going to get invested, as well as the No Command. They're going to throw everything they have. They're fighting for their life. The scariest dog is the one that's back against the wall. Heydu gets 2 technicalities, though, as Hero is still left standing. Though Spike is down on site. They need to push through. There's 4 defenders there. Heydu pushing aggressively will get taken out. 3v1, though, with Baba Fortnite. The entirety of the team's hopes in this map on their back is going to push through, try to find something. We'll get flashed. Oh no, we will take out Effie, but it doesn't matter as Hike swings through the smoke, gets the final kill, and secures map 1 here for ACT.
What a showing from ACT. Great way to stamp yourself onto the top of this group with at least the first engagement against a team in the top 3, going heavily in their favor. But 1B, so 1B, stellar performance. What was it about ACT that got them across the line in such a convincing fashion?
They just played like it was their map. They were in control of it from the beginning. Momentum was clearly in their favor. There were a lot of rounds where PGR invested a lot. You could say that it was too much, and they proceeded to lose rounds where they were forced to buy pistols, stingers, the like. It was a game where PGR just didn't look too comfortable on the map itself, especially on their defenses. And then by the time they looked like they could get a couple of rounds on their attacks, they couldn't string them together. It just didn't look like it was their day.
Indeed. And Soren, I'm looking forward to getting your opinion, but we'll do that after a quick break before map 2. Haven up next. Don't go away. Welcome back, folks, to the Victoris Rival Series, Week 4 of the Summer Split. Map 1 saw ACT Gaming take a dominant win over PGR on Icebox, but now we're going to be moving on to Haven and Soren. I know you had some thoughts about ACT and just how they are so good.
Yeah, I have a few thoughts here. I mean, really, really good performance. We saw a lot of PGR there as well, but I want to talk about one man in particular, Axfred. I was looking back because during the game, I was noticing I was constantly saying their name, so I wanted to look back at the stats, so I did. And of that 18-round game, Axfred only missed getting a kill in 4 of those rounds. Every other round of the game, they ended up picking up a kill. And in multiple of, I believe, they picked up 2 triples as well as a quad in there as well. So Axford putting up a monstrous performance, finishing with an outstanding 376 ACS. So really pulling their team along. But that's in the past. That's Icebox. And now looking at Haven, I'm really interested to see what they're pulling out here.
Indeed. Judging by the way the map picks have been presented to us, I believe Icebox was ACT Gaming's pick in the first place. So Haven is where PGR wants to take us. Hopefully they'll have a better performance here, and maybe they've cooked up a little something special for us. I believe I know we saw Breeze the first week. I'm just trying to remember if we saw Haven or Ascent out of PGR. I just cannot remember. Just blanked out of my mind. But in any case, do we expect to see the same kind of compositions coming to this map? Sorry, I'll ask more generally for you. What do you expect to see coming to Haven? Do we expect to see changes, more of the same? What is there?
I hope there are changes on PGR's side since it is their map pick. Icebox, frankly, it was a map where they just didn't. I said it before we went to break, but it's a map that they just simply did not look comfortable in. From the buy rounds, from the way that their strats were, they just didn't seem to be playing the map. So hopefully they can do a lot better on that end in Haven. What I'm expecting to see from PGR, or specifically from both teams, in terms of agent composition, I expect to see more of the same that we've been seeing on this map. Breach, maybe even a Sky. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a KO in terms of controllers, or where in terms of Sentinels as well. I'm thinking also a Cypher if teams want to be experimental on that front. For controllers, though, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Brimstone or Omen.
Yeah, definitely some. We're just only seeing Viper and Icebox, a bit of an anomaly these days. We have seen Omen, as you previously mentioned, creeping a little bit more back into the meta. So running that solo controller was definitely a surprise. I don't obviously expect to see double controller here, but yes, as you said, Brimstone, Omen. I know some teams, if they're still hanging on to it, like to run the Astra here. What kind of things does, say, an Omen, for example, definitely making his way back into the meta stealthily, just going, coming back in, a little smoke cloud appears behind you. What does Omen bring to the table, Soren?
Omen brings a lot. Speaking from a previous Omen main myself, Omen is the only real controller that has real playmaking capabilities. Like all the other controllers are really good at cutting sightlines, like Viper, or just having complete control of the map, like Astra, or just having an intense amount of smokes, like Brim. But Omen, a little bit weaker on all of those fronts. Doesn't have the same smokes. Gets them back on a timer, which is really nice. But his teleports and his flashes are what really makes Omen unique. Being able to play around, do those tricky maneuvers, the classic outplay agent of old Valorant back in like 2020, is definitely starting to come back out a little bit with these new changes and updates ever since the Asher nerf. So I really love seeing him, and he does get a lot of play in Haven, so I can't wait to see if anyone picks him, because the outplay potential on Omen on this map makes him such a fun and interesting agent to watch.
Oh,
Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties getting a player into lobby, so Soren and 1B, can we
Uh,
discuss amongst yourselves? Well, Fantastic and I
well,
get it figured out.
I could talk a little bit more, and I'll pass it over to you, Wumby, on your thoughts afterwards. But we did talk a little bit about the Initiator. We're talking all about these controllers, but as the now Initiator main myself, I love talking about the new Agent Fade and all the changes that happened, especially with Breach and excuse me, Breach and Sova now, kind of dancing back and forth. But on Haven especially, the initiator picks are very open. It could really be any agent you would like. Sky gets a lot of play here. Breach gets a lot of play here nowadays. And then obviously Sova and Fade are probably the two most used in that regard, but they usually get swapped out. So on this map where double initiator seems to be the commonplace, I'm really interested to see what your thoughts on what two we're going to be seeing, because they could come out with a surprise, maybe go double sentinel or a double controller. But if you would have to pick two initiators, who do you think are the best for this map?
I'm gonna have to go with probably a Breach or a Sova. I feel like Fade is in a weird spot. She's certainly very, very the word that I like to use is busted. She is busted. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I most definitely think a Breach and Sova are a little bit more effective on this map just because of what they bring to the table. For Breach, he has so many good lineups where if he's on the defense, he can deny plants, or if he's on the attack, he can clear a whole site just by one Rolling Thunder. He's really, really good on this map. His lineups are crucial, and I don't think this is the opportunity for any of these teams to just pass him up. For Sova, the same thing can be said about him. He has some pretty unique lineups, especially with the recon darts. There are so many good shock dart kills you can get with players hiding in some of those little tight knit corners, especially on that C site, and also a lot of positions that you can clear out, sort of for example, garage window, you can clear out that tight space with just one shock dart. And as well, I think Fade, she could be brought out here in tandem with the Breach, but I think we're going to see both of these teams pick a Breach just as the other one does.
Yeah, no, I'd absolutely agree with the different types of initiators we have nowadays. You definitely have a variety of choose from, and each one plays a little bit different. So I do think that Breach and Fade is a really good combination. Fade's utility, like I said earlier, is a great team play tool, so that you could use that for the initial intel, and then you could use Breach information or Breach flashes and concussions to push through and make that even more effective. Also, Sky utility is really good based with Sova. So I'm really also interested to see what pulls out. But it looks like we are about to
Huzzah!
get
It
into the
worked.
game.
Everyone in the lobby. Agent Select is a go for Haven. Take it away.
Well,
All right.
PGR, it's their map pick, and well, they got to show us a much better performance than what we saw on Icebox. Again, they didn't quite look like they were at their best according to what I've seen from week one. I believe, actually, I'm not going to make a guess on what maps they played because I can't quite remember, but Icebox is a map that they are most definitely familiar with. They should know how to play it, and it just seemed like they never got their footing right. Now, going on to their own map pick, both of these teams' composition, it seems for PGR, they have a really aggressive lineup.
Yeah, it does look very aggressive. I love seeing Neon. I mentioned the Jet nerfs coming out a little bit earlier. Jet not quite as good as an Opera as Chamber, so we might see some new duelist picks. And Neon is really only used on Haven, so I love seeing her get picked here. With the Chamber pick as well, not that surprising. Seeing the Chamber on both teams, but really excited. We're going to see a Brim and we're going to see an Omen in the lobby, as well as we're going to see 4 different initiators, none of which are Sova. A little bit of a difference from patches of old. So I love seeing these new agent compositions here in the game. It makes the game so much more interesting.
Yeah, interestingly enough, is the Fade going to be picked over to Sova? And like you said, double initiator for both teams.
Careful
both teams
here.
persisting and bringing the KO and the Chambers. The only thing that's different is the controller pick, and also the second
Careful here.
initiator pick for PGR.
Careful
They picked
here.
the Sky. They picked the double flashes along with the KO flashes. But for Fade, she is more or less going to be used for the intel side. Her Haunt and Prowler having a lot of value on that side of the game.
Oh, and the action's already underway. The aggressive push is coming out from the attack. Oh no!
Last
I was
player
talking about how good
standing.
they did in the last game,
Spike
but
down,
they whipped the
C.
shot so hard.
I got the
though
spike.
The attack does get massively damaged on their entry. Lafia is the
Spike
last one
planted.
standing in the situation. The Prowler will spot them out, won't get hit by it though.
One enemy
Frenzy in
remaining.
hand, still a really good gun, but Prowler will still hit them on the back end, will mute them, not quite able to see where Pike is, and Pike will be able to secure the kill, secure the round, and pick up the first round in Haven.
First pistol round goes in favor of Act Gaming. They're looking strong, just as they did on Icebox. So that round was a little bit close for them. Haven, statistically, at least for the NAVCT, is known as an attacker's sided map. So you want as much of an advantage as you can get if you are starting out on the attack before you head on that defense. Just because of the way that the defense is played, you do have to play 3 sites on this map, and that means you have to extend your bodies, your resources, etc., etc. And that might leave you a little bit weaker on the other 2 sites. Now in this round, we are going to see full pistols from PGR, as they did lose their first pistol round for Act Gaming. We do see a little bit of a buy for them. 2 Spectres, also a Headhunter, and a hand of Pike, who opens up this round onto Zi-Fi, and that's a good opener for Act Gaming on their defenses.
Pike, the newest member of Act Gaming, is really coming alive in this series, really showing their stuff. That really hurts the attack here as they look to maybe poke and prod, see what they could do over towards mid. Cheese Wedge will give away the location just a little bit with the run, but not enough to give away everything. Axrid is waiting for them with the Marshall, unfortunately not able to secure a kill. Oh no, Axrid stuck in the corner, concussed with Neon, only has Marshall in hand, will get taken out. Pike is the one of the only, defenders to left. The seize is massive for the defenders, but Obama Fortnite, despite being in that position, does able to get the kill. But oh my, all those tracer lines gives away their locations, but it's almost to the point where there's too many and it's just a blur. The rotation will almost fully come out, though. 1 player left staying back. Obama Fortnite waiting to see if anyone will push through long, maybe play a little bit off of the flank, but it doesn't matter because the moment they get over to C, they get completely wiped out. 1 by 1, dismantled. Site has Spike, and Obama Fortnite is just going to have to run through and not going to make it there on time. The round will end, and it's going to be really rough for Obama Fortnite, just stuck over on B, not able to do anything to help their team out.
Now PGR, they have the gun difference in this round, since they are going to go on a full buy, and for PGR, they're going to be stuck on their bonus. There is going to be a phantom buy from Pike, but overall, a good defensive round for them as they're starting strong in their defenses, and they're going to continue that trend as the map goes on. By the way, this is PGR's map pick again on Haven, that is statistically known in NAVCT as a attacker-sided map by really slim margins, but nonetheless is an attacker-sided map. There goes the 0 point that does grab a little bit of information towards B, the player playing in B, which was Hado, is going to back out of that position as PGR looks to make their waves on to the A site first. The first kill going their way. Cheese Wedge is able to grab Axford as they look to make their play onto the A site.
Their play has fully come out. I was going to say the 4v5, but I say that as they open proceeding for themselves and they pick up a kill, though Icky gets taken out. Obama Fortnite with the Headhunter takes out Pike. Chamber violence goes into the way of Obama Fortnite, and suddenly Ecobat is the last one standing, but it doesn't matter, as the moment they teleport out on the site, it is a bloodbath, and they just get taken out.
Was a round that PGR were expected to win, and when it did, they do so. Did that make sense? Yeah, I don't think so, but they won that in a very convincing manner, and now they're able to get their first round on the board on their own map pick again. May I rephrase that? It is their map pick, so keep that in mind as we do increase the rounds on Haven. Now, it looks to be for both teams that they are going to full buy, since both teams have enough credits to do so, and I think it is going to be a split take through mid.
Definitely posturing up towards mid 3. Technically in that position, Pike will get smoked off. Garage will be out of use for the next, I believe it's 6 seconds or something crazy like that with that smoke. Doesn't seem like a long time until you're, waiting for it to drop, but the spike will make its way into B. It will go down to plant. Axrid and Hado, though, are going to find the opening picks. 3 attackers left standing already, and they're just hiding in corners. They're trying to hold this site with whatever they got left, though this fade ultimate could be massive. Prowlers come out.
Last
No
player
monkey
standing.
will get one, but it doesn't matter as the execute comes out and everyone is mowed down. 3 defenders left standing. The spike will be defused, and we are going on to round 5 after quite a convincing round for ACT.
Good retake from them as well. The weak spot was recognized from PGR in the B site, but at Gaming, for all we know, could have just gave that up to them for free, and so they did. That retake was played perfectly well, starting off with the Nightfall that happened through the middle of the B site. Not only does it give off intel, but also keep in mind that I believe the Haunt was sent in right after it, and also that Nightfall does decay you. You're held down by a lot. That Nightfall is extremely busted, and that round showed you exactly why. With that, they got the easy kills that they need, and they were able to get right back on that spike. Now PGR have to do a mental reset as they have a janky buy coming up in this upcoming round.
Ooh, janky buy, yes, but effective just possibly, as they do get an opening kill with the Guardian. Not quite able to secure the Vandal that came from that kill, though Pike is waiting for them with the Tour de Force. Will use 2 of its bullets, won't be able to find much value, if any, from it. Skydog is used to clear out a main lobby, and just like that, we have the overdrive coming up from Cheese Wedge. They're just going to push all the way through sight, and they have it just about completely uncontested, though that is not great for the overdrive. They'll be able to use it as a deterrent, but not quite get the value they would probably want from it. Tour de Force is still online, still in heaven, but A-Site is completely under control from
I've got your trail.
PGR, excuse me, Obama Fortnite, with that Guardian still getting the most out of it. A lot of utility being used, the Haunt coming out, not quite able to get any locations given away. Lafia flashes around the corner, tries to sprint through, finds
One
Pike,
enemy remaining.
remove
Last
the
player
ultimate
standing.
1v1. Ecobat doesn't know where they're at. Obama is sitting over it short. Ecobat clears it, but doesn't he have the time? No, they don't. They're just going to be able to tap it, and they'll be able to TP away and just barely survive. Convincing retake, but was not able to secure it in the end.
Yeah, a lot of utility was also used to make that retake work, but it didn't work. So there you go. But for PGR, not PGR, but both PGR actually and at Gaming, for at Gaming, they have 3 ultimates available. That is the Null Command, the Blade Storm, and the from the Shadows for Eco Ball Eco Ball you got me calling him Eco Ball. Eco Bat.
Gotcha.
And now for PGR, they only have 2 ults available. That's the Tour de Force. That's why Obama Fortnite isn't investing in this round, because he wants to use the better version of the operator in the Tour de Force. And no monkey, he actually has the Orbital Strike online. So if PGR are able to get a quick plant down and see, they could play long angles and just use the Orbital Strike in order to cover that spike if PGR were to get on top of it, or at Gaming were to get on top of it.
Blade Storm is out and will immediately find value as XP goes down, excuse me. And the attack is now almost complete. I was gonna say stalled, but it's not even really stalled, it's just stopped. As Cheese Wedge isn't able to do much. I say that as Cheese Wedge and Mafia are able to get kills, each they're able to walk on the site. And now this 5v4 is now a 3v3. I see that Ecobat been proceedings on the retake. They push through. If he finds another, no one is left on site still, though. Obama Fortnite is going to try to push up, be a little bit safe. See if they can get a kill with the Tour de Force. Orbital Strike gets used. Every ultimate online. Obama Fortnite with the no-scope.
One enemy
Oh
remaining.
no, Obama Fortnite, you can't do that. That's disgusting. Gets the no-scope to start off proceedings with that Tour de Force, and then, despite the Orbital Strike coming down, everything clears away, and they're just able to get 2 crisp shots on the last 2 defenders, and it all falls apart, and they secure the round 3-3. What a round.
a lot going on in that round, but the cap off that round, Obama Obama Fortnite, you know, he calls himself Obama Fortnite 69. Call yourself Obama Fortnite 2K because that's what you got at the end of that round. Started that round off well for them and just as well closed it up for them. Again, being the main duelist, or well, one of the main duelists because the Jet is in play for PGR. The flash knife goes out in Garage and it does suppress the ability of the Jet in Garage. And Axford, who had an insane match last map, the first kill though going into at game play or PGRs.
Hey, dude, I was gonna say, I'm gonna get stuff for the attackers, but hey, dude says, no, you're fine. Iffy with the sheriff. Oh no, it's all falling apart. It's all crumbling. There's only 2 left. They're separated. Spike is nowhere near sight. Oh no, check left, no!
Seek them out.
With that, the Seekers come out. They will be used. We'll give away the last little bit of information. We'll know exactly where the last 2 are. Flash comes out, stalls the push through CT a little bit. We'll try to fake out the rotate over towards Heaven. Both Lafia and Zyvi are going to be sitting in Hell. Will Iffy think the check? It's going to be a duel. Iffy loses it. Pike knows one's there at least, but it doesn't matter. Lafia comes out massive with 3K on the round and secures it. And they now have control of this map for the first time so far this half.
I believe that is a timeout from Act Gaming. Yes, it is Bartowski, their coach, clearly seeing something that he didn't like and he's looking to discuss it with the team. But that is for the first time, actually, I think, in this matchup where we've seen PGR take the lead, and it is on their own map pick, so you would expect them to do so, but it's been about 2-3 rounds in a row for them so far. At some point, you know, it doesn't look like it. Actually, it does look like it for Act Gaming. For their economy at some point is going to take a massive hit, and they're going to have to force buy at some point. And this round may be the round, or the round after this, if they end up losing it, might be the round where they're going to be looking to do that. They're obviously losing momentum to PGR, and since they are a map up and they could take the whole series just by winning Haven, they really want to end it here and right now. They had the momentum at the beginning of this map, and PGR not wanting to give up, looking to make amends for a really lackluster performance on Icebox, looking to make amends of it on Haven. You know, that's clearly putting a sour taste in the mouths of Act Gaming so far.
Yeah, no, that timeout really necessary to get that mental reset that they need. That is 3 rounds on the bounce losses for them, so they needed that, but hopefully it is enough. We are back underway with the action, and we have a little bit of a different strategy here. Pike sitting very aggressively with the operator. Meanwhile, Axrid and Haydu are just pushing through middle. Yes, he's immediately gonna get hit by the Prowler. Will get taken out by Haydu though. So it will be a 1-for-1 trade. Axrid finds another on a sneaky angle. Oh no, spots the barrel of another one. Will swing around, tries to get 2, tries to grade it a little bit, but won't be able to. Zi-Fi knows where the spike is. They have spike in sight, so they're gonna have to play around that Haydu. In an off angle, probably somewhere they wouldn't check. The haunt comes out, doesn't give you any information. But Pike, sitting back with an operator, does spot them out and just finalizes the round. That's what they needed. After that timeout, they had the full buy, including the operator, and they needed that round to get back into the action here. Especially for Axford, who was bottom fragging in that last round. Now back into the action.
Yep, again, a full buy, a very expensive round for Act Gaming. And with that, they take a timeout just to sit here and have a mental reset. Again, buying an operator, buying full rifles with that as well. A very, very expensive round, and it pays off in a round win for them where they're able to tie it up on their defense. Oh, it's going to be a heavy A-site push. So starting with the slide, Keith wins, and he gets the first pick onto the Eco Bat. That's 1 player in A down, now 1 more to go.
Ooh, they might not expect it or mean it, but the shield from Sky giving off that circle will be spotted, and it will be spotted moving away, so they might not expect this rotation. Oh no, Overdrive coming out, pushing very aggressively through Garage, but it doesn't matter as Pike with the operator finds the value, finds the push, Astrid with one himself. Haydu picks up a third, and the attack is fallen away. Astrid with a second. Haydu follows suit, and one by one, the attackers fall, and we are back with in control of this game again.
The forced buy as well from PGR, so not having the best of chances to win off that round, but you had a little bit of hope for PGR just because they got that first opening pick, and then they were able to kind of like, well, not really, they were able to bait out that push onto A and make a rotation for C. Unfortunately for them, At Gaming knew exactly what they were up to. They already had two players just set up there, Obama getting the opener, and then following up was indeed, I believe that was Axrid, who was able to get a second, and they knew exactly what they were doing.
They absolutely did. The attack is already underway. It's so aggressive, though. Iffy and Evabat are able to push through. Obama Fortnite and Mafia follow suit, though. KO does get picked up. Oh no, Axer tries to do this sneaky double updraft over the wall with the Blade Storm, but just gets knocked out of the sky. And now it's a 4v2. They're gonna have to do something about it. Pike tries to do something with the operator up in heaven, but doesn't even get the chance to peek as they just immediately get taken out. And what a convincing round win. What a good response from PGR, excuse me.
Yep, full buying up that round, and that's a round that they most definitely wanted to win, that they were expected to win as well. But as I say that, their coach, or I'm pretty sure, yeah, that was their coach, decides to take a timeout because this is an important round for PGR as well. Again, they are going to be full buying, and with that being said, Act Gaming don't compare to PGR. Both of these teams, well, Act Gaming compared to PGR, both of these teams having an equal amount of money and equal standing in terms of where they stand in the economy. Both also 5-5, so equal in the scoreboard as well. Both of these teams evenly matched on PGR's map pick. PGR again taking this time out because they want again, like just like for At Gaming, they want a mental reset. But after winning that round, they want to get some momentum to be able to win the second. So Noble is just going to be able to be like, hey guys, let's see what we can do for this upcoming round, and then for the rounds after that, like, hey, if we lose this round, then maybe we could do this. If we win this round, then okay, let's keep doing what we're doing, etc., etc.
Timeout is coming to an end, and these rounds are the most important. This was PGR's map pick, so they would probably expect and hope to get a little bit more out of this half, but after making it costly, that knife is going to find so much value. Will spot so many of them. Zi-Fi picks up Gobat. Go Haydu coming up massive so far in this map, gets a double. And little do they know, but their crosshairs are still trained on two attackers. The smoke will drop. No Monkey is going to have to risk crossing. No one there yet, but if he might peek out at any second, it's going to be all about timing. Obama is going to be sneaking around through the side. Cheese Wedge opens it up, kills Iffy over in B. Heiju catches Obama Fortnite lurking. Gets the kill though. Only 11 health to work with. Two other defenders are over towards A. They're going to have to do most of the heavy lifting here. Oh no, the timing is everything. Ooh, gets spotted out. Axrid. No Monkey. Smoke's going to drop. Find one, find two. Only 11 health remaining on the last defender. No idea where Haydu is, though they know where No Monkey is, but that orbital strike is going to delay time for a little bit longer. Oh no, Haydu doesn't get the kill. He needs to find this, and he will. A 4K on the round. Will they have enough time though?
Come on.
It's gonna be close, but I think they may just about got it. It's gonna be down to the wire though, and they will secure the defuse. And that's going to bring them to 6, which is going to bring them to at least net even for this half. But with this economy, they might just be able to sneak out and win with a 7-5 half.
Ooh, yeah, most definitely. And they also have Pike investing in the operator. So there goes that little secret weapon, or not so secret weapon, in the hands of At Gaming. But that shot from Hados to close out that round just speaks volumes to how Act Gaming have been, you know, on top for most of this matchup. PGR have had their chances on Haven so far, but they haven't been able to take them. In that situation, No Monkey in the 1v3 situation just couldn't find the last kill, despite the HP advantage being in his, favor in that round.
We do have some bullets being traded, but nothing of substance as everyone continues to have full health and shields. But the attack looks to be coming through the A. Pike tries to get an opening kill with the operator and not quite able to hit the mark. And seeing that operator over towards A, they're going to slow down just a little bit, maybe rethink their attack. But the attack is stalled. They're pulling back, poking and prodding a little bit more towards mid, stacking up towards window, and they look like they might be expecting a push through, and the utility will be used. Ultimate will come out from phase. So many characters being tracked, marked, decayed, suppressed. It's all about the timing. They will be flashed if he takes them down. No command comes out, keeps them from using their utility. Spike is not down yet. 4v4. The attackers scatter out of the way. Meanwhile, over on C, where they're looking to go, Ecobat is waiting on the angle. Only finds one. Mafia and Zi-Fi, though, go down. 12 seconds left. They're going to have to get this
10 seconds left.
plant down. The last two defenders are over in garage. Oh no, Obama Fortnite finds one. This slow heal is going to make it a difficult retake as if he doesn't really have time to wrap around through CT. And Obama Fortnite, I was going to say at the beginning, the only ultimate they had in hand for that round was the Tour de Force, but it doesn't matter because that Tour de Force is all they need to secure it, and we go into this half 6-6.
Crucial round for Obama Fortnite. I was initially thinking, since they were backing off of A due to that due to the operator from I believe that was Pike hanging about in Heaven window. I was thinking, since they rotated due to that operator having that line of sight onto a long, that, oh well, maybe they have Obama Fortnite with the Tour de Force online, and since it's the last round of the half, he'd most definitely use it to challenge Pike. But instead, he saves it. He waits for the right opportunity to use it, and it comes when PGR needed most. So now 6-6. They're in a both of these teams are in a decent spot. As they do the site switch, and it's going to be a heavy C-site push, I believe, from that game.
Extremely heavy. It's going to be a 5-man push. The shorty, oh no, it could have gotten so much value, but the rendezvous comes out. Won't find anywhere near as much Astrid with 2, Iffy with a 3rd. They know that Wedge is sitting in the back of sight, though. It has a frenzy. Astrid only a classic in hand. The smoke going down, timing is going to be everything, but not quite going to make it. It's going to be a tough retake. 3v2, I say that, 2v2. Helen is pretty even. The Zi-Fi picks off Ecobat. Actually, the last one standing, only with a classic. Oh no, and will swing out to see if they can get the advantage on Zi-Fi, but it doesn't hit, and Astrid goes down, and they secure the first round of this map. First round of this half, excuse me.
PGR gets the first pistol round of the half, and it should guarantee them the second round based on how this buy goes for PGR, who are going to sit on full pistols, as I would expect them to. And PGR, they need as many rounds as they can get, because remember, on the series, Act Gaming lead a map from the Icebox win that they had just a little bit earlier. PGR not only need this to keep the series alive, but really also for their mentals, because losing 2-0 maybe in a convincing way isn't the way to end off such a crucial match at the last stage of the season. Lafaya with 2, Cheese Wedge with 1. It's all falling apart for Act Gaming, and PGR win that based off of a mid-rush, knowing that they had the gun advantage, knowing that they had the gun diff going in their favor. They take the fight to Act Gaming, and they clearly weren't ready for it.
No, they were not. That was quite a convincing win, almost a flawless, but we would almost expect that. Coming out of the anti-eco round, we're now going to be on the bonus. You would expect us to go back into the wave of ACT, who will be 7-8, as long as it goes to plan, but it most likely will. There's only SMGs. There's no sneaky vandals or such coming out. I say that, but Cheese Wedge pushes through really aggressively, though Iffy with the Vandal is able to secure the 2 kills, putting a massive hit into the defenders, though with the Headhunter Obama Fortnite, massive kill on Heydu, their top frag so far in the lobby, though Axrid was their bottom frag for a while, might be able to do a little bit more on this attacking half. It's all about timing, and oh no, Axrid somehow survives that. Sci-Fi
Spike
does
down A.
take out Ecobat, though. Iffy with a 3K for the round. 2v2. Axrid with I don't even want to say scraps. It's more of a scrap singular of health left. He's just going to play in the corner as the 2 remaining defenders just slowly start to pinch in on them. One by CT, one leaning over towards a long. The smoke's gonna come out, and it's gonna be a hold and a half for Act here. So they're gonna have to pull out some magic here. Oh no! If he gets spotted on the corner, and no monkey swings through Axrid and picks it up. I said it was almost certainly gonna go their way, but it all falls apart for them as we are now 6-9. They pick up their bonus round that they were supposed to lose. This does not look good for Act.
Pick up their bonus rounds, but they also pick up the weapons from their dead enemy corpses. 2 Vandals retrieved from that round itself, and it's 3 rounds in a row on. Oh my God! It's 3 rounds in a row for PGR. It's unheard of. It's not really unheard of. It's really, really rare that you see a team win, 3 rounds in a row, and that's including their bonus. At least in the beginning of a half or at the start of a game, etc., etc. And PGR are doing just that. Clearly, again, using the momentum high that they got from their last attacking round win, using that as a driving force in their defenses.
That's not a great smoke, as it still leaves so much room for Obama Fortnite to peek out. Gets the very sneaky kill on the Heydu, who I don't even think saw them up on top. Silent but deadly, though Pyke is taking a little bit of a more advanced position over towards mid. Bladestorm will be used by Axrid. We'll hear the the knifing from No Monkey. The flash comes out. They're going to push through Garage very aggressively. Fire is going to meet them, but Ecobat mows them down. 1 player down on either side. They're going to push through aggressively, but so doesn't check left. Obama Fortnite with a 3rd for the round. 4 as they pick up the squad as no one checks them. You got to check your corners, folks. It's not good habits to have.
You can't see it, but my mouth is wide open because that Bladestorm was just wasted from Axrid, mainly due to the fact that, again, they did not check their corners. And that's pretty inexcusable when you have a KO, when you have the Fade in play. I think the Fade actually died very early on, so apologies for that. But, again, you have the KO in play. And with that being said, Bartowski, their coach for the side of Act Gaming, is going to take a time out because they are going to ask, well, what the hell happened on C, right? First of all, again, ignoring the player in C or just not getting the intel that you need, and it all started off mainly due to a botched smoke from the Omen of Ecobat. That smoke being placed in the middle of B, and it mainly helped out Obama Fortnite than it did the whole of Act Gaming on that push from C long, didn't it, Soren?
Yeah, it really only helped the defenders there. It just gave them one less thing to check in reality. It gave them so much room to just get an even better off angle, really, from the side. So, really, the entirety of the attack fell apart the moment it began. So, with this timeout, they're going to have to completely reassess. Hello, Mr. Panda. They are going to have to reassess completely what they... They're going to have to reassess. Sorry, we have a little bit of a jokes there in the production chat, but... They're going to have to reassess what they have in the arsenal. That being said, it looks like it's going to be a full A hit. Sci-Fi sees that. They're going to molly off A long. Meanwhile, the concussion is going to come out from Cheesewez. They're going to run into 3 defenders. No Command comes out. He immediately gets taken down by Cheesewez. Axrid finds Sci-Fi, though. The information is out. Heydu actually getting so much value, though. Takes down 2 Lafaya. does take down Pike, which is a massive hit to them. For 3, Axrid comes back after that timeout. A monster. Oh my.
Enemy remaining.
Or can it be an ace? Will get sprayed down. Will get the ace.
You should have seen your
What
faces.
a man, what a monster in the lobby. Put up some massive numbers in the first map, and despite a slow start to this map, is coming up massive when they need him. Picks up this first round in their half, and that's exactly what they need. That step off, the foundation to build on for the rest of this half to try to secure the series win here.
Timeout clearly working in their favor as they disrupt the momentum of PGR. But how long will that disruption last? PGR 10 rounds to 7. Economy is in a good place, but Obama Fortnite is going to pop that to the force. Clearly not wanting to invest this round as it is a little bit, I guess, cheaper for him to do so. Not going to buy the operator as one might expect of the Chambers in this situation. Instead is going to get it for the better operator, which is in the form of the Tour de Force. 3 other ultimates are ready for the side of PGR, or not yet PGR, as they get the first pick inside of this round.
Ooh, Axrid follows suits though. For the 4, Tour de Force is still online though. They do still have the teleport coming out from the Omen still in their back pocket, though the no command on the defenders is still in play. Hidu pushing aggressively
Spike
through.
down A.
Sci-Fi does find one. Iffy trades them out though. Hidu in such a strange angle. They kind of know they're there, but not quite their location. It's all about the timing. Who peeks who first? Who gets a little bit of information? Oh no, hey, you can't do this to them. Oh no, the trigger discipline. Will they figure it out? Oh, they'll get 2. Oh no, a disaster for the defense.
30 seconds left.
Heydu picks up 2.
remaining.
The Obama Fortnite
Spike
makes
down
this
A.
a 1v1. Heydu wrapping all the way around. Technically has the time, but it is ticking down. Will the faithful spot them out? It will not, as it will not clear the entirety of heaven. Only 11 seconds on the
seconds
clock.
left.
They're
I have
going
the
to
spike.
have to dedicate this plant. Obama Fortnite.
Spike planted.
Will catch Fuse. The heart will give away the location. The Tour de Force shot misses. Oh, trying to go for the no scope. Will miss. All 3 shots used. Headhunter still in play. It's all about it. And Heydu swings around the corner. Obama Fortnite is caught looking right. They swing around to the left and secure it. And that's 2 rounds in a row. The comeback, I can feel it. I can feel it in the back of my mind. It's coming through. But you never know. PGR might have something fresh up their sleeve. They still have a timeout in hand.
Yeah. That is a heartbreaker from Obama Fortnite, almost saving that round in the 1v2 situation. Gets one on the planter in the middle of the A site. It just escapes the nightfall, almost catches the fade off guard, gets caught out by the haunt as well in that situation. Just
out of
missed
my
his
way.
shot when it mattered with the Tour de Force, and unfortunately for PGR, unfortunately for Obama Fortnite, it isn't an 11th round for PGR. It is an 8th though for Act Gaming. And that's 2 rounds in a row for At Gaming. This is a must-win. This is a must-need win for PGR, but At Gaming Co. Oh my God, they start off with such a good start. Axrid getting one with the Blade Storm, and they're heavy hitting this B site with everything that they got, but they have to face Cheese Wedge. He gets one, finally gets taken down by Pike, and again, they have control of this B site.
Axrid with only a classic pushes through, kills Sci-Fi, picks up the Phantom, and there's 3 defenders left standing. I say that too, but right now there's 1 on the ground, ready to
Last
revive, but
player
their teammates nowhere near. Pike swings around the corner, secures the round. We are at 9-10. That timeout comes up massive for them as their mental resets, and they pick up 3 rounds on the bounce.
In a row for Act Gaming, and with that they have a lot of momentum on board. I think PGR still have 1 timeout left to burn, so if they want to use it right now, then this is the time where it is needed. And as I say that, I think they hear me. Noble is going to press the big red button and say, let's go talk boys, because this has been an absolute disaster class on the defense. And I don't mean that in a bad way. They haven't had any bad defensive holds that I've come into know. It's just the momentum that Act Gaming have been able to game have just been far too strong for PGR to handle. And now heading into this round where they have a force by 3 pistols plus 2 SMGs, a Spectre and a Stinger, well, they are not in a good shape to win this round. This may just be a free round for Act Gaming to win.
A mental game from here on out. Both timeouts used. Usually these timeouts are used, to get these mental resets to allow the momentum to be cut off at the head. But, we have the massive momentum push from PGR that was cut off by the timeout. And now we have this massive act push that's getting cut off by the PGR timeout here. So basically almost at a net zero. We need to figure out who's going to be on top. Whoever has the better mental, whoever can keep their head on and focused on the goal, will almost certainly come out on top here. But saying that, seeing the massive deficiency in terms of weaponry on the side of PGR, you'd expect the aggressive mid push, which does in fact come out. They do pick up 1 kill, but A site is just free for the taking, and with that the spike will go down and they're going to be able to play around it. Jesus sitting over in short is going to be running into 2 of them. Will spot out Obama Fortnite, but Obama Fortnite with that headhunter is very deadly. I say that as they pick off Iffy, and this is a scary prospect. Prowler will come out, the double swing as well as actually picks up no monkey. Obama Fortnite is going to be able to pick up a Vandal. Sheriff in the hands of Lafia is going to be sitting over in heaven.
Player standing.
Eco-Bat takes out Obama Fortnite. Lafia is going to have to make something magical happen to pick up this round. It's not what you would expect with this Thrifty, especially only having Sheriff. The time keeps ticking down. Just playing really for exit kills now, but it doesn't matter as Eco-Bat is able to secure the final kill. Secure the round. We are at 10-10, but we are now post timeout, first full buy. So last round you can almost completely wipe off the map. Doesn't matter what happened. It all matters who wins this round. This is going to be the decider, in my opinion.
Most definitely, both teams having some ultimates ready. For Act Gaming, they have 2, whereas for PGR, they have the 1. The Seekers being ready, and with the Seekers, you can just grab intel and also flash your opponents if those Seekers are able to impact onto them. For Act Gaming, they have the From the Shadows, the big teleport from the Omen, and also the Tour de Force in Pike's hands. I don't think they are going to use it this round unless they hit the C site hard, get that spike down, and then with the Tour de Force, you can just hold the long angles. But I feel like it's a really great investment to burn that Tour de Force. Now the first kill though goes into PGR's way, and they desperately need that Soren.
Oh, they really do, as well as that second kill. Third coming out. Suddenly it's 2v5, and I said that this round might be the decider. Act really needed to pull this through, but right now it's looking dead on arrival as they try to put something together, but it looks like they're just merely going to be saving rifles here, which I don't blame them. They're not in the best spot in terms of the economy. Pike's still rocking like 4.8k, so we'll be able to help out a little bit, but still not great as they are going to be going 11-10. But
30
we've
seconds
seen
left.
them trade back and forth in the first round, so we'll see. These back and forths do favor the attack because they get a little bit more leniency, and it's on their accord of whether or not they get the plant down or not. So usually in these tactical FPSs, it does favor the attack when
10
they go
seconds
back
left.
and forth rounds like this. But still plenty of game to see what happens here as the round will tick down to its final seconds, and we are going 11-10 in round 22.
Many rounds have been played on Haven so far, but PGR probably wanted this map over and done with so they can get ahead with map 3. And with that being said, well, this is the perfect opportunity for them to grab the 12th round on the board. But this is also a really good opportunity for Act Gaming to get their 11th and tie the whole game up. Also, with that being said, both teams, well, for Act Gaming, they don't really look too hot on their economy. For PGR, it doesn't look too bad, but Act Gaming, if they're able to lose this round, then they'll probably be forced onto just this next round, which would guarantee PGR the map. And we see the full force, the full speed of the Neon being used onto C-Long, trying to scout out, maybe get an early pick or two. But there you go. The early pick actually doesn't happen on the C site. It actually happens on A, and it's Hados to fall first. Or not Hados, sorry, Iffy.
Absolutely, and it could have been so much worse. That almost looked like it was going to be lined up to be a collateral, but ACT might be able to do something with this regardless. They are looking over towards a B hit, but B looks a little bit weaker than the other sites, only having one. And if they could pick this player off early, like Pike does, removes the trademarks, and Axrid getting the kill on Fia, this is going to be possibly a really strong hit, possibly faking out a C push. Cheese Wedge is going to push through Garage, won't find anyone, though Axrid is just kind of chilling in the corner. Obama Fortnite with that operator is an absolute menace. The fake TP will be used. Oh no, Ecoback gets spotted out, and the site is split in half. Kado finds one with the C2v2. Axrid though. Oh no, it all falls apart. Axrid gets Obama Fortnite so low. I thought maybe they could do it, but Halo tries to swing around and get Sci-Fi, and Sci-Fi just cleans up the last little bit of mess on their plate. And we are at map point, pushing map 3.
Made a mistake. We won't see Act Gaming go ahead and force buy. My fault. I misread the credits, but we will have both teams full buying again. The economy clearly favoring PGR, but most certainly if Act drop this round, they probably will have to kiss the map goodbye, because again they'll be on a force buy. But look at this, 4 ultimates. It'll be interesting to see if Act Gaming will throw all 4 of these ultimates and the whole seek at PGR. The Nightfall being very, very crucial in those executes, and also clearing out a whole site when needed, and also just grabbing basic intel too.
Absolutely do need to. It's the final round, possibly, if this goes into the way of PGR. So they have to make something happen here, but losing their tour de force is not a great start to it.
Face your fear!
Though the Fade Ultimate will come out, doesn't really clear anything. This Orbital Strike, what a good play, doesn't really get any value in terms of kills, but is massive in stalling the push. Iffy and Axrid find 2. Lafaya picks
1 enemy
off
remaining.
Iffy, and suddenly there's only 1 defender left standing, 2 attackers, technically 3 if you count the KO on the floor, but it doesn't matter. They'll pick Iffy up, so they will keep the rifle in hand, but they pick up an 11th round. They still have the tour de force, and right now, only 1 of the defenders, Sci-Fi, is still in reach, I'd say, of getting their ultimate. 6 out of 7 points right now, so it's pretty even on the ultimate front. So they're bringing it back. I can see it. We might just hit overtime here.
We might just see overtime, but I'm pretty sure PGR don't want to see it hit overtime, as they have to reinvest in this round, and they reinvest heavily. Keep in mind that they rebought the operator for Obama Fortnite, but the tour de force is going to be brought out by Pike. That the 0 point, sorry, grabbing a little bit of intel in Garage, and that spots out the sky of Lafaya. First, who sends out a flash, then a Trailblazer to Wolf, but it gets destroyed off rip. So Act Gaming obviously looks like they're just scouting out their chances as they leave Spike towards their own spawn.
There.
No,
There.
they will spot out 1. Cheese Wedge will get the Prowlers. Oh no, it's all kind of falling apart here. 3-4 of the attackers go down. Tour de force in the hands of Pike is all
Defenders
that
win.
remains. And just like that, they get mowed down. Don't even get time to commentate it, because they all just go away in a flash. And that's map 2 to PGR.
What a performance by PGR, keeping themselves alive in this series. It was a close run thing, but I really feel like they stepped it up in that map, not only as a team, they came together and they had a little more support available. I felt map 1, Icebox, was a little more individualistic from them, just players playing on their own, not able to find any value. You bring in 2 initiators, you've got so much more support for your players to pop off, and pop off they did, is particularly looking at players like Obama Fortnite there. 1B, top of the table, drops a 30 bomb in just regulation time. Big step up from the Chamber player.
Big step up from him, but also, like you said, a big step up from the whole team entirely. Their economy looked a lot cleaner that map as well. And we criticized their economy on Icebox a little bit, where it felt like they invested a little bit too much in rounds, and then they ended up losing them anyway. So they didn't get any value for it. They invested when they needed to on Haven, and it worked out perfectly for them. Now 13 and 11 win as we head into our third map in Temporal. I'm excited to see both of these teams go at it for our final map.
Indeed, that map will be a sense. And while in the break, we're going to take a bit of time. We're going to educate Soren on the difference between a panda and the buddy bear.
I thought that was a panda for a
We'll,
year
we'll
now.
get to that. We're going to go to a break. Ascent is next. The top of the table will be decided in 1 map time. Don't miss out. Welcome back, my friends, to the Victoris Rival Series Summer Split Week 4. Last map, we saw PGR able to level things up here in their face-off against ACT Gaming. This is a top-of-the-table clash, so the winner will go, obviously, top of the table, so an all-important seeding going into the finals of this tournament. Soren, or should I introduce our new Panda caster? Panda in quotation marks there. No, it's a bear. The Valorant bear hides out in a few maps, and we decided to bring him on the cast. So Valorant bear, what were your thoughts on PGR's performance on Haven?
Being bullied by production, but overall it was an amazing game. It's exactly what you would expect. We came into this seeing that this was going to be a top level clash between the two top of the table teams. So after seeing that like kind of dominating victory on Icebox, I think everyone was a little bit surprised, but seeing how close map 2 was on Haven, but still pretty secure win for PGR. I mean, it's kind of exactly what we expected from this series. So now that we're going over to Ascent, personally my favorite map, I can't wait. I'm really excited to see what we pull up because I truly believe that on Ascent, almost every composition you could think of under the sun can work, and really you could play any way you want in terms of being aggressive or being a little bit more laid back. So I can't wait to see what the teams pull out here.
And so, Wumby, we've seen PGR play on this map. They ran a very similar lineup to the did on Haven, particularly thinking Zypher on the KO, Fortnite on the Chamber, and Cheese Wedge back on the Jet. Are we expecting to see more of the same from them?
We'll see. I think they'll run a little bit more of the same. I think they'll go for like what they did on Haven. They didn't really go for any surprises. I said I expected a Breach and a Sova. They didn't really bring a Sova, but instead brought out a Sky and a KO together. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a KO on this map just because of how good he is on it. KO is good on any map, but Ascent and Haven in particular, and also Icebox are probably three of his best maps that exist in Valorant. So I don't really expect anything different from PGR. I think we might see something different from At Gaming though. They brought the fade out last time. That'll be interesting to see on Ascent.
Yeah, we'll see if they choose to stick with Fade or go into the Sova. But, fans, we're going to find out very shortly. The start button will be clicked. Hopefully we get blinded and we do see the map load. Ascent coming up. Final agent selections of the day about to be locked in. Let's find out what they pick.
Agent selection is loading for me, and here we are. We are going to see the picks for both of these teams. Obama Fortnite once again locking in the chambers, and he had a fire match on Haven. 31 kills. It was 31 bomb for Obama Fortnite on the chambers. And he used not only the tour de force to perfection, but also the operator as well. So it'll be a fire matchup once again from him. I hope Cheese Wedge having a better performance on Haven as well compared to what happened on Icebox for PGR, which is a map I'm pretty sure they would like to forget. And in the controller slot, well, we do have the Omen also having another double initiator pick like we did on Haven for the KO and the Sobel. For the side of Act Gaming though, the KJ is going to be their lone sentinel instead of a Chambers. But KJ, this is a staple map for her as it would be for KO or Sova.
Yeah, I was gonna say I quite almost uninspired picks overall. We're seeing the Jets and the Sovas and the KOs, exactly what we expect. Even the Chamber on Obama Fortnite, which I think no one's surprised about. He, as you said, dropped 31 in regulation, by the way. But as we see that KJ come out, it really shakes up the entire map because while they don't have a lot of influence on the attacking side, which is going to be their second half side, they could really define how this team plays on the defense. And KJ, despite not being the sentinel of choice, is probably still the best sentinel in the game, or like true sentinel, if that makes sense. So I'm really excited to see what they pull out here. I can't wait to see, especially because Pike has been very influential. Maybe not being top frag in their team's respectful scoreboard, but definitely up there in terms of influential kills.
Yeah, Another pick that also persists on this map that didn't exist at all last map is going to be the Sova being brought out here. Again, Sova, just like KJ, he's a staple operator for any map, not just Ascent. And it's mainly due to the fact that there being so many lineups that exist on this map from him. I'm thinking one all the way from A long where the attackers are lining up all the way into the A side itself, so you get so much use from the recon darts. But also think about if, for example, there are some players existing in Hell, you can clear them out with just a single shock dart. So it'll be interesting to see how the Sova is used here, but I'm pretty sure he'll be used just the same as he is all the time.
Yeah, and we see an interesting setup here as the attack just slowly pushes into mid, taking this mid space. Ascent, one of my favorite maps, simply because mid is always handled so uniquely by certain teams. And wow, Actor really starting strong here, picking up 3 kills off the bat. The attack is completely stalled out, and I don't even have time. It all just crumbles around them as everyone just swings around the corner, and sure, they take a lot of damage, but it doesn't matter because everyone comes out alive, flawless for Act here in first round.
Every which way that PGR wanted to go, and Act Gaming just shut them down. Not with utility, but with their guns. If you click heads, you most definitely win in this game. So there you go. And also, skins get you wins, and it's clear that in that round, Act Gaming had the better skins. That's why they dominated PGR in that round. Now going on to more favorable weapons compared to the pistols of PGR, they most definitely confirm themselves this second round. Depending on how PGR played this, all they really need to do in this situation, since they are on a force, all they need to do is just to play passively, and they rush right into the line of sight of Astridge, and he not only gets one, but he gets a second too.
Axrid is really starting to show their monstrous side, the side that we saw on the first map there. To that round, though, about Fortnite does try to level the playing field just a little bit, does get taken out, though. Egobat
Found them.
the trade for the
One enemy remaining.
Packers are on A, and I was gonna say there's only one defender there, but they only need the one defender as Pike just secures the round, takes out 2 convincingly.
Another second round for PGR, but I mean not PGR, sorry, Act Gaming, as that was a round they were expected to win. Now with PGR full buying, they will be probably able to win this upcoming round. For Act Gaming, well, the main thing that I'm going to be focusing is, well, how does the KJ use her utility this round? We didn't get a chance in the first 2 rounds to see how the KJ would be able to expand her utility on these sites. And the main thing about a KJ, the reason why she's so good on the sense, is because of her potential on the defense. She has so much potential in forcing these attacks back and forcing them off of a single site. The first kill, though, does go into PGR's way. It's not on the KJ, though. It just so happens to be on Act Gaming's main duelist in Astrid.
Agu just gets the only way to put it is mowed down by bullet fire there, and they try to enter straight. Some KJ utilities going to keep them off of it, but only for so long as KJ goes down, and A site is just kind of open. You know, Omen is sitting over by top of mid and is kind of expecting something, but I'm sure they can hear the rapid and aggressive gunfire coming from A. The duel will close, Spike will go down, and Egobat, Spectre in hand, is going to try to have to do something here, but I don't know what they could feasibly do in this situation, facing a needed ace to secure the round. So it seems like Egobat might just try to do something a little bit sneaky, try to get a few exit picks, or might just try to push through a main, see if maybe they can get a few kills, hurt the economy. Because really, in reality, that's all they're going to be able to do, and they're going to be running into all 5 immediately, as they all are just kind of chilling in a main. They might actually be able to do some damage here. They won't, in fact, as they just get mowed down as well, much like their teammates.
All of his bonuses to really try and do as much damage to your enemy's economy as possible. With those exit frags that the Omen could have potentially gotten, he could have most definitely done that, take a few Vandals off the board, and then those players that lost the Vandal would have been forced to buy those Vandals again if they can afford them. Unfortunately, he was not able to get a single exit frag, and that's why PGR are able to get a round back. Now, both teams able to full buy, and I'm interested to see the full use of this KJ be expended, but for the most part, the action is going to be happening in mid on Ascent, as you would expect. Axrid getting a 2K to start off this round. That's both your Sova and your Chambers gone. 2 men off of the board for At Gaming.
Yeah, it's 2 influential players as well. The Chamber, Obama, Fortnite, top frag in the last game. No Monkey, not quite top frag, but was still an influential player, much like I said, Pike, with those influential kills throughout the round. So losing them is going to be a massive hit, and it's also going to completely stall out the attack. They have 1 attacker at every avenue of approach, I guess you can call it. Cheese Wedge is going to see if they can do anything, but they are going to be running right into the KJ setup. Sci-Fi pushing through their Omen smoke and maybe seeing if they're going to catch someone off guard, but right now, there's no need. They're just going to sit back and enjoy. They're not the ones on the clock.
Yep,
It's going to sit and hold angles, man.
Yep, they are. The clock
30
is
seconds
clearly
left.
not in favor of PGR at this moment. Sci-Fi is going to get pinched here hard, especially if Hado swings at the right moment. Sci-Fi is not going to be expecting him. Instead, he's going to be expecting Eagle Bat, and that's an easy kill on the back of Sci-Fi, who falls at Hado's bullets. Now a 2v5 again, 10 seconds left to
10
go. You
seconds
don't
left.
favor the attackers to win this. Paranoia and a Dark Cloud goes out in mid, where the Omen for At Gaming are positioned. Dark Cloud covered their entrance as well, and like I said, they're not going to want to give up the rifles that they've already gained in that round. They don't want to hurt their economy more than what PGR has done to them already, taking off 4 players off the board, forcing those players to rebuy their rifles as well.
Yeah, I want to mention it there. I mean, the operator in the hands of Axrid, you know, I was saying he's starting to show his monster side, and with the operator and the marshal really showing it, getting a 2K with each of those weapons respectively, they're really going to have to focus on getting that out of their hands, because if they keep the operator in hand, I can only see them doing a rather significant amount of damage. And speaking of Axrid, they're going to push pretty aggressively all the way through B main. No one's really checking or clearing it, but they won't find anything, so it's going to be almost a waste of a push. Meanwhile, the attackers are poking and seeing what kind of space they can get over through mid. Cheese Wedge is pushing really far forward, does get the kill on Iffy, alerts Ecobat to where they are. Meanwhile, No Monkey gets the kill on Heydu. That's 2 defenders down. Oh, that knife is going to hit Pike. That's going to take out all of the KJ utility. Plus, they're smoked off. They're by themselves. Not a great position for them to be in. They will go down. Ecobat gets swung on. Doesn't get taken out, though. It is a 2v5. They do have Operator, and knowing that, they will just get out of the way. And it looks like it's going to be a save round for them. They found an alternative to dealing with Axwood with the operator, and it's simply just avoid him. But with that, the round will almost certainly come to an end. They will hide out in the last safe haven on Ascent, which is Boathouse, and they will just conserve what weapons and money they have in the bank.
Good call. Good call from At Gaming to do this, because again, they don't want to surrender this operator. And not only do they not want to surrender this operator and leave it on the ground, but also they don't want to surrender this operator to the likes of PGR, because this could easily be Obama's Fortnite's operator, but it isn't, because he's down and not going to count. Will Lafaya be able to get that kill?
This is
Nope,
hurting
he
their
won't.
economy so much.
And yeah, that was really weird. I don't really know why they both decided to push into him, but there you go. That's how the cookie crumbles. And 2 easy kills for the Jet. And with those 2 kills, guess what? Her ultimate is fully charged. So whether or not she wants to pop it this round or save it for later rounds, I expect Axford to save the ultimate for later rounds, but you never really know. It looks like he's going to get aggressive though on a main, so we might see him pop it now. We might see him pop it now.
Might see it, but it looks like they are just going to use the operator. Probably a good play, seeing as the knife will hit them. They are suppressed, and they are just going to retreat away back over towards Garden. So, duel happening in mid. Obama Fortnite is able to pick off Iffy. Meanwhile, Lafia takes an advantageous position up on top of Archway, not able to get a kill, but Axrid is simply waiting. The Silver Drone will come out. Axrid hiding away. Don't know if they got spotted. Don't think so, as the Silver Drone did just simply run out of time, and they do, and Cheese Wedge are going to run into each other. Cheese Wedge comes out on top 3v5 as the defenders are going to try to hold site. Ecobat is the only one still standing, and will get kill on Cheese Wedge. That's a great opener. They need that to get into the action here. Meanwhile, Axrid with the operators going to find two themselves, 2v3, but it doesn't matter. Obama Fortnite flanking through mid, gets the kill on Axrid, takes the operator out of commission. Meanwhile, Pike, the last standing defender, gets swung on, doesn't see Obama Fortnite, but Obama Fortnite whiffs, brings it to a 1v2. Might be able to make something happen here, but they might just try to save this operator, but look like they might try to play. The economy is not a bad spot. Axrid would be able to buy next round, so it's not that big of a deal, but that information is going to be massive, and probably didn't think they were going to get spotted by the Silver Duck, but they do, and they will get taken out almost immediately after.
That is PGR's map. That was PGR's round to lose, and they win it. So there you go. 4 ultimates ready as well for PGR, the Tour de Force, plus the Blade Storm on the fragging side, but also the Hunter's Fury for No Monkey. So if they're able to get a plant down, this Hunter's Fury will be crucial in cutting off rotations through mid, through the back of A, or even through the back of B. If No Monkey is able to,
you want to play? Let's play.
As I stutter, to be as if he's able to pop it now at some point. The knife though is going to be thrown out towards a main, get some crucial intel, and 2 of these Act Gaming players are really aggressively pushed up, but the rotation is actually going to happen in Garage.
You know, we have a small U in the defenders line right here, but we're done where they really need to be. That information is going to be massive. Kato gets 2. Will spot the location of 1, though. Oh no, the ultimate from Lafia makes them get on the site very quickly. Will give away that location. The shock dart comes out from No Monkey. The Silver Drone will almost certainly clear it. They'll give away the location. Obama Fortnite using the Tour de Force's red effect picks off 50. Hunter's Fury will be invested, but will be taken down by Pike. They know that Obama Fortnite is there. Sprayed through the smoke. The spike goes down. Lafia is the last one standing. They know they're on the site. They know they have a Vandal. No! Runs out of bullets. Oh no. That will give away so much information. Just pincered in on nowhere to go. But they will get one. It's a 1-on-1. Ecobat needs to secure this, and they won't. Oh no, Lafia against all odds gets the 4K that they need to secure the round. What a play.
You know, that was a really good attempt from Act Gaming, but just as good as it was, I don't really know how the hell all 4 of those players lost a single gunfight against Lafia hanging out in Boathouse. And his position actually started from his ultimate, teleporting from God knows where into B, catching the first player that he saw in B site off guard, getting that first frag for his team, and also cutting. That was actually Hados. Hados got a 2K from Garage, and he was able to cut him down. Axrid, though, with the patience, does finally catch Obama as he looks at him, and that's the first kill on the board for Act Gaming.
So they need to get back into this. That is a massive loss for them. Oh no! Cheese Wedge gets caught out. Axrid on the other side of the map with the Blade Storm finds Sci-Fi for a 2. And just like that, even though Lafia had a massive round in the last round, it's all kind of crumbling here for the attackers, as right now the defenders are taking a lot more space than you would appreciate for the attackers here. Axrid looking, poking, prodding, seeing if they could take some space through mid. Lafia, though, finds 2. Spike goes down with Sheriff in hand. Lafia gets a 3rd on Ecobat. Fia is really carrying the team here, putting the team on their back against all odds, nonetheless. Pipe, though, is well aware. Iffy. Oh
30
no,
seconds
they
left.
used that knife to see if maybe a rotation was coming out, but since it didn't spot them, they're not expecting a push through B main. Though Iffy is second guessing themselves. Not giving away anything. They know they only have about 12 seconds.
10 seconds left.
Yeah, they need to get the spike down, but looks like he's cleared the B site with his gun sights, with his eyes itself. Iffy waiting for that
Spike
sound cue. He
planted.
gets it. The
Ooh,
spike
barely.
has been planted by B as well. That smoke, that dark cloud gonna go over by the CT stairs, and here comes a teleport. Well, not a teleport. Oh, and the Odo from the good boy. And she uses it. Oh, that could have, you know what? That was a good swing. Not a good swing, but a good flick on from Iffy on to Lafaya, who at the nick of time that KJ, that lockdown, I'm not too sure if the lockdown should have been used in that situation. I get it because they didn't have any intel, so you force that player out. But I'm not too sure if they could have just maybe have waited for maybe another round to use the lockdown.
Do have 3 ultimates in hand though, so using
Yeah.
the lockdown doesn't mean that they just don't have the I'm having a stroke. Don't worry, you're not the only one messing up today. They do not have the advantage, but they are equal on ults now. So getting into this round, we're going to be level
out of my
4 to
way.
4, very similar to what we saw in the last round. No command will be immediately used, popped along with the Blade Storm. Is going to almost entirely make it impossible for Axe to use their ultimates. That being said, Hato goes down, a big player in the last game. It's going to be quite a hit, and they're going to have full control of sight. KJ having to completely retreat. No command comes down, the knife comes out, and Sci-Fi with a massive kill on the Pike. If he gets the trade though, Spectre in hand is not going to be able to do too much more. Ecobat swings around, tries to pick off their ally, though Obama Fortnite coming up with the flank will get the last 2 and secure the round 5 to 4. It's trading back and forth, and like I said in the last map, this will favor the attackers. So the defenders will have to take a timeout here. They're going to have to do that mental reset that we've seen all series long, and they're going to try to get back into this game.
Their economy last round suffering as a result of that loss. Also using the no command in tandem with full buying and also their crits taking a massive hit. The only players that are going to be able to full buy in this round are going to be Pike and Iffy. The rest of them are going to be on really janky weapons. And that's not good, especially not against the full buy PGR, the operator included from Obama Fortnite. And we've seen him on Haven so many times, get so many good entry frags, get so many good multi-kills with that operator in hand. So most definitely the timeout coming when it needs to come out, just so that it can discuss, well, what route are we going to plan to take this round? Since they are going to be on a considerably lesser buy in this round, barring the fact that they do have 2 assault rifles, will they play this round a little bit more passively? Will they play for those players who have pistols just for the guns that PGR have, including the operators on Obama? Well,
Placing sentry.
we'll see, because at the moment it's just not looking too great for PGR. The only positive thing that I can think of for note, as they do buy up in this round, Stingers, a Sheriff, and a Shorty, plus the 2 assault rifles that I talked about. They do have 2 ultimates, but most notably they do have the Hunter's Fury online for Hato.
I saw that production. I can feel the bullying through the screen. But we are underway here as Act try to pull something back here. They are only 1 round behind, but this trading back and forth is not in their favor. They're going to poke and prod the attack into A site, though. The KJ utility is going to be set up there, as we would expect. Lafia really putting their team on the back, despite playing in the playmaking Omen role. Will get taken down, though, but no monkey over on Catwalk. Gets a trade in response. Pike goes down. to see from Act, as they are now down 2-4, and with this, it's gonna bring PGR down.
One enemy remaining.
Excuse me, up to 6, which will lead them at net even, but that requires them to win the round, and they will lose 1, but it'll be played to 1v3, and Ecobat's gonna have to do something amazing here. Oh, what a play to the smoke! Will be able to catch one, but not the other. Playing in the smoke.
Enemy
Will catch
remaining.
someone. 1v1 situation. Ecobat knows where the last player is. They are playing for long. The flash comes out. The swing. It just has to be a stall, though, from Zi-Fi. Unfortunately, Ecobat flash tries to get the kill, but is just shooting at the wall. Zi-Fi will get out, get the kill, and save the rifle.
So will play from the KO, using his flashing abilities to pop flash him twice at least. He flashed him, then peek, flashed him, then peek, and then on the second one where he pop flashed him, he's able to get that pick. Sci-Fi, or not Sci-Fi, it was Ecobat that was not aiming in the right direction, and he gets punished for it. Now 6-4 are PGR. Again, this is the decider map. Both of these teams tied 1-1 on a series, and PGR so far looking very, very strong on their attacks.
Looking very, very strong. No acts are responding in kind. Able to get one. Lafia, though, massive play for the team. Gets one as well. Cheese Wedge and Iffy getting killed for the team. Iffy coming up huge with a 2K.
Last player standing.
Pipe
Spike
as
down,
well,
mid.
following suit. One attacker left standing. Zi-Fi able to secure the round in the pass. Is going up against a mountain of attacks. Here will get revenge on the Omen. Iffy. 2K in the round, needs to come up and pull out 3K to secure it, and Zi-Fi has to push for the spike here, so is going to be on the back foot, and that knife is going to be huge. Give away the location, even if it doesn't eventually go off, and the crossfire is there. The flash comes through. Oh no, Iffy goes down. Zi-Fi to 1v1, but Pike wins it almost solely because Zi-Fi
Last
runs
round
out of
before the
bullets. I
switch.
really believe if they did not run out of bullets there, that would have been Zi-Fi's round to win. But unfortunately, it's just not meant to be. It's 5-6, and they might just be able to bring it 6-6, and we might have a repeat of last map.
Sci-Fi, he's becoming a master at that pop flashing crap. It's kind of funny because he just like pop flashed his own doppelganger, and his doppelganger's like, I'm flashed, and I die. He dies. And that round almost could have gone Sci-Fi's way had he not run out of bullets like you've mentioned, but also, well, now the tour de force is online. You hear the line, the most famous line from Chambers, and it is Obama Fortnite to have that ultimate online. No command comes out, and Axford is left powerless in his position. Not powerless enough, though. He does take down Zi-Fi, who is only down. He can be revived, but all 5 of these players are in the A site. The Hunter's Fury also being used from Hado. Cheese Wedge able to get a kill onto Heaven, and now the plant is going to go down. So the Hunter's Fury not being used to its fullest extent.
So much utility being used, throwing everything at the wall. Lafia, massive kill, and
Last
brings
player
them
standing.
to only 2 left. Though if he goes down, Ecobat's gonna have to do the most, but not able to. As the rest of PG are just able to use their ults willy-nilly, they secure it, and it's a 5-7 half.
7-5 half. We go on our first pistol round of the half. Last time out, it was, I believe, PGR to get the first pistol round, and with that, they got the following second, and then they were able to get some momentum as those rounds went on. Now 7-5, 7 rounds to 5 as they take the lead on the half, and so far so good. Not only from Obama Fortnite, who is only 10-9, but Lafia had a masterclass of a half, or a first half on that Omen. His utility usage, the one time he used the teleport was so good, and also his smokes were really good as well.
Some
Playmaking
utility being used to stall out this attack, and the attack sees that and is just going to fully rotate. Cheese Wedge is in a very advanced position, kind of what we saw
over on Icebox, so they push up through mid very aggressively on the defense. Let's see if it's used to a little bit of a greater effect here, but that being said, the fake rotate actually comes out as they slowly make their way into A, and it just about works. The team almost fully pulls off, but Zi-Fi is still there with the frenzy. Might be able to do something, but Heydu goes down. Ecobat finds Obama Fortnite sitting in the corner. Door goes down, and that's site taken. Spike is planted, and they're going to have to play for this retake, but it's going to be rough. There's only 3 left standing. Lafia with a frenzy. So they're trying to make something happen, but Axrid coming up massive with the ghost. Cheese Wedge follows super high. No monkey as well. It's a 3v2. Health does drastically favor the attackers, though, and Ecobat on the flank does find one. Cheese Wedge, the last man standing for the team. Ghost in hand is going to have to do the most, but that turret's going to do some significant damage to them. 1v2, scraps for health left on Pike. Time is ticking. They don't have much time. They're gonna have to do something. As it ticks down, they will get the 1 kill, but they do not have the time, and they will get taken out with a spike. As that is round 1 of this half going into the way of Act, which they desperately need to get back into this game.
Yeah, I think we might be seeing an attacker side of this ascent unless PGR are able to just. Well, it's not really about adjusting. That is the first round on defense. It's just more or less if they begin to crumble round in and round out on their defenses. As you know, for the most part, at gaming we're crumbling. It was a close half at the end of the day, but again, PGR were most definitely in control for most of that half on there. It's kind of weird to say that because at first we saw Icebox, they weren't in control for most of the map, and then after that we're seeing them on Ascent, and it's a whole different PGR.
We have a very similar setup, a very aggressive push. They do molly through on logs, but Axrid just runs through, gets to the other side, finds one. Ecobat though
One
goes
enemy
down
remaining.
4v1, and despite losing, they're gonna force buy. Oh, excuse me, no, I got the teams mixed up. That's my apologies. They're just gonna full buy rifles there almost entirely. That's 3 Bulldogs and a Spectre left over, so they do win the first round. They win the anti-eco round, and despite them going to be going into this bonus, that's still 3 rifles in hand for them.
Yep, most definitely. And now, well, usually in the bonus, especially with how little the leading team invests, we usually bet them to lose it. But since the fact that At Gaming do have 3 rifles, they have a good chance of winning it. The Sheriff does a lot of damage, especially when it comes to headshots. Those are usually one-shot headshot weapons. So at Gaming, they have a chance to win this round, especially with the weapons that they do have. And as I said, that the first kill goes to for Pike, and he gets it with the Spectre nonetheless.
Ooh, Lafia though picks off Hades. That's gonna be a massive hit. The plant is going to come out eventually. It took them a little bit. The shock darts will come out. Won't find any value from them, however. No monkey, not hitting their targets. Their Cheese Wedge does find their target with Iffy. Goes down. Pike though with the Bulldog, still getting so much value. Lafia with them is going to do a lot.
Last
Axrid
player standing.
playing in hell is going to find something. Pike is going to have to do the most here. Bulldog in hand. They don't know where they're at, but doesn't matter. No monkey secures the kill and secures the round, and it goes almost the exact way we expect, but it is very, very costly for the defenders here, and they're only going to bring 2 rifles back with them, and 3 of their teammates won't be able to full buy.
Nope, most definitely. They lose 2 of those players that they did full buy in that round. So again, they lose 3 of those players, and they won't have those 3 players will not have enough to full buy in this round. We see a couple of shares. 2 of them are stuck on classics unless Obama decides to buy up in this round, whether that be on a Marshall or whatever the case may be for him. He doesn't have his ultimate ready, so the Total Force won't be expended in this round, so he will be stuck on a classic for the most part. Cheese Wedge though does have his Blade Storm ready, and at some point he will pop it, and that point would probably now, since he is forced on a classics, the Blade Storm's obviously the better weapon considerably. The first pick though is going to fall into Axe favor. So does the second. That's Cheese Wedge down. That's the Blade Storm used up. Can't be used anymore in the next round. And now look at this. B site is going to be given to Act Gaming but it's not surprising due to the fact that PGR were forcing. So, not surprising.
Sci-Fi and No Monkey get spotted out by Axford there, only in passing, but it's enough information to give away a lot on their positioning. All three are sitting in the back alley. Lafaya is going to teleport over into the docks, but going. Axford, Shorty won't be able to find anything. Is going to come up massive. They already have in the past. No Monkey 1v2. Not able to pull back, and that's going to be round 4 of this half, and it's 8-8. We are still getting this trading back and forth. The only difference now is that Act is on the attack. So Act, in theory, have this advantage here. Not only do they have the advantage in that regard, but they have 3 ultimates on hand, and right now, PGR only have one with 1 technically in the back pocket, 6 out of 8 in the Sova. So they do have the advantage going into this round.
Yep. 3 ultimates on the side of Act Gaming. As you mentioned, the Blade Storm for Act. At some point, he will pop it when he wants to. I doubt it'll be in this round just because it's not something that they desperately need. All of these teams, or all of these players on the side of Act Gaming, have full rifles. Pike, though, does have the lockdown ready, so when he uses it, he can clear out these PGR defenders from the B or A site, the focus seeming to be the B site, and with that he can activate the lockdown, force these defenders off site, and then they can get the B site in their control. As I say that, there you go, they get that first entry kill on B, then the lockdown is there to fall out, and now, well, Act Gaming, or not Act Gaming, sorry, PGR can't fully be in here. As I say that, Pipe falls, though, that it killed oh my god, the ultimate is going to be used and activated. Nobody caught in that, but after all the kills that go PGR's way, that lockdown most definitely just seems like a waste from Act Gaming.
Axford with a massive kill
30
there. That was
seconds left.
so needed.
Last
Lafaya
player
is going to be
standing.
flashed off and is going to be taken off guard, swung on from all angles. And now poor
planted.
No Monkey, Odin in hand, is going to have to do everything. Put the team on the back. Lafaya did it in the previous rounds, but if they don't want to give up this lead that they've worked so hard to get, they're going to have to do more. Axford knows exactly where they are. Will No Monkey check it? They won't!
Harder.
Axford secures the 3K and secures the round.
Oof, 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 oof. And now look at PGR's economy, not looking too hot as we head into whatever round this is. I can't count, so I don't know what round this is, but like quite literally they are in a rough spot economically after that last round loss. They bought up in that round. They didn't use any of their ultimates, only just because of the fact that the only ultimate they have was Lafaya's teleport, and of course he's not going to use it. The Hunter's Fury, though, might be a deciding factor in this round for Act Gaming. The intel might be crucial here on Garage, and the Hunter's Fury might be there to follow if it's able to detect somebody, which it doesn't. Though the first kill goes into Act Gaming's way, and it is cheap ways to fall. That sure duelist off of the board. 2 kills go out for both of these teams, and it is Hado and Lafaya down and out for the count, though Act Gaming still retain the man advantage.
Oh, say that on the Fortnite with the Headhunter does find the most value out of it, gets 1. Sci-Fi pushing all the way up through A main, and it's going to be a 3v1. They have no idea where he is, but they're just going to take the spike, and they're going to run right into B. There's no one there, but if you look at the mini-map real quick, A main is marked up by the attackers. They don't know for sure, but they are pretty darn sure that they're wrapping around through there, and they'd be absolutely correct. So, as we get to the later stages of this round, Spike will go down, and Sci-Fi is going to have to pull something out of the hat, because not only somebody going up against a 1v3, they now know exactly where they are because of that information from the KJ turret. KJ, really good sentinel, really good at holding down the site, but another thing they are really good at is that information, and really good at stalling, as you can see with this Molly, keeping Sci-Fi off of site for just a few seconds longer. Just gonna have to run on and do something. Molly going into the back alley, see if they can do something. Will get swung on from CT, but not enough to do enough damage to kill, but Ecobat will secure the final kill and will bring us the double digits. It looked pretty good for PGR in the first half. It was pretty even, to be fair, but they had a really good start. But now as we switch to this attacking half, Act seems pretty much in firm control, and this timeout is really necessary if PGR want to get back into this.
Timeout much needed for PGRs. Again, they're losing momentum. They had momentum on their own attacking half. Now that the sides have switched, I've said it, but I believe that Ascent in this matchup between Act Gaming and PGR will be attacker-sided. And look who was right, me, because I'm always right. I'm joking. But Act Gaming do have that momentum clearly going in their favor, especially on this attacking half. Is it purely because they're on attack? Well, maybe not. So maybe both of these teams just don't have the best of luck defending. At Gaming, despite having the killjoy for most of their defenses, were being dominated by PGR. Just like how PGR, while their lineup and their combinations aren't really suited for defense all that much, it's more or less balanced between both attack and defense. Well, At Gaming are kind of dominating them on their attack, and they're gaining momentum while PGR are staying a little bit stagnant. We haven't seen them win a round in a while, and in that last round, they were on a force. Now, in this round, they get to full buy, but in a few seconds, you will hear the famous lines from the Chambers himself, and they are so dead, and that is when the Obama Fortnite is going to pop that tour de force, which is going to be used in this round. Probably to hold down mid as he is focusing on that area from trees.
Had a little bit of a standoff going over in A main, but Cheese Wedge over on B will get the kill on to the attacking KO, but the attack crumbles. Oh no! One by one, they all fall down. The Forest gets used to great value, will get one kill as well. The Hunter's Fury might not get the kill, but will, in fact, give away enough information and will force the attackers into an advantageous position for them to get knocked down by the Tour de Force. So, with that, Ecobat is the last one standing. They're going to try to push up through mid, try to see what they can do, and right now, mid is definitely the better of the two, but looks like they might be favoring Gardens, which is not the best, seeing as there's 3, if you count them, defenders waiting there for him. So it's going to be a bloodbath. I say that as Ecobat gets the opening kill. That's what they need, but
left.
Obama Fortnite is going to be sitting there with a Tour de Force.
Shadows traveling.
Smoke will go out. They're going to play towards Gardens, but they're just going to get shot in the back because Obama Fortnite gets the angle on them.
Oh my god, that smoke. It's just unfortunate because by the time you use that smoke, PGR were already like in a pretty advanced position on heaven. He thought they were probably a little bit deeper. They weren't. And unfortunately, that smoke just means nada for them. It's not like he lost anything of value with that smoke being used like that because you do get those smokes automatically and they do have a recharge rate. So it's not that big of a deal. But unfortunately, it is the round going into PGR's favor. 4 ultimates, or actually 6 ultimates in total ready for both teams. 2 ultimates on the side of PGR, 4 for At Gaming, and one of those, or actually 2 of those, are the Null Command and the Hunter's Fury for At Gaming. We'll see how that helps them out in this round because we know how much value the attackers can get from both the Null Command and also the Hunter's Fury combined together.
Yeah, they only need to use a few to secure this round if they want to, and that would bring them to 11, which is a great place to be at, but as of right now, we have a little bit of a standoff on all sides of the map. No one is looking to give away anything. Pike will get spotted, but the utility will not be enough to take out the KJ, and the shock darts are going to be misplaced and will clear out the front corner when in fact Pike is sitting in the back. But with that, Axford is going to play a little bit more aggressively in mid, sit by arches, see what happens, and possibly a sister team in the rotation. Zi-Fi is going to be sitting there waiting for a push through mid. Won't find anything, but it is going to be possibly a small duel if Axford chooses to push through. And while the attackers look to push into sight, it's going to be matched with some defenders on their own. Though Heidu and Iffy get 2 opening kills, and they really need that. Though, oh no, the Molly gets whipped a little bit. Doesn't stop anyone from entering sight, but it doesn't matter as Ecobat just gets the opening kill on the first attempt at the retake. And now, the last 2 defenders are just sitting in mid, twiddling their thumbs, trying to figure out what to do. And what are they going to do? They're going to sit back and save because they are not in a great financial position. So they will take those rifles into the next round, but they are going to be giving up a 11th round here, and that puts us just about at map and series point for Act. So as the timer ticks down, Wumpy, what are your thoughts? What do they need to do to get back into this? Because Act, even though they lost that last round after the timeout, seemed to be in firm control here.
Yeah, if they lose again, they lose this round. It's basically guaranteed with the way that they are positioned on the other side of the map. And with that being said, this upcoming round, which will probably be a well, not really a force from the rest of the players. One of these players won't be able to buy up, and that is going to be Lafaya on the Omen, only having the classic in hand, and No Monkey will be able to buy up as well. So it's not the end of the world, but Lafaya is going to be a gun down, and with that being said, he will be left the weaker in these gunfights. I really do not know what, if I can say, what PGR can do. The only thing they can try and do is just cut off the attacker entrances. They don't really have the utility to do that. They do, but only in the way of the KO grenades. It's like, desperately it's kind of like they're sort of missing KJ on this defense, really, because KJ is so much more suited for these defenses than a KO would be, and much more suited for the defenses than a Chambers would certainly be, especially with the way her utility can force these attackers back, can slow them down. And unfortunately, they're just missing that right now as they get the first kills not going in their favor, but going in at Gaming's favor. And there goes a third, this time from Pike. And now look at their positions on the map. They are collapsing, and it's not looking too good for them. This is going to be match point for At Gaming, and PGR are going to be left trailing and trying to catch up to put us into overtime. But with the way that their economy are set up in this round, the upcoming round is not going to look too hot for them.
No, they needed this. This was the round they couldn't afford to lose, and as well, that turret's going to give away the last defender's position. No Monkey will find one, but it's going to cost them their own life if he gets the final kill of the round. And like you said, we are at series point here. And it's looking dominant. PGR need to do something. They need to pull some magic out of the hat, pull some cards up their sleeve that we don't know exist here, because if it continues to be like it is, we're going to have our first of the top 3 teams losing their series. In actual play, that is.
Yeah. 2 ultimates are ready for PGR, so if they want to disrupt something, then the dual command needs to come out now, which does happen. So it shuts down the utility and the abilities that can be used from At Gaming. But as I say that, Heidu gets a big opener. He could get himself a second, but No Monkey holding down lane with the Ares gets shut down. Lafaya with 2, Lafaya with 1 on the judge, and now we're at a 1v4. Defenders win that round, and PGR, they keep their hopes alive. They keep the dream alive. They want this comeback, and they want it now. That was a crucial round for them to win, and they won it when they needed it most.
Yeah, no, flawless. That's the only word that should be on their mind right now. They need to be flawless for the rest of these rounds, because they don't have any room. It's already tough when you're, 11-9, 10-9, because any mistake can cost you the next 2 rounds, but they're at map and series point. Any slip up can just be the downfall of them, and there is no room. Once you make a mistake here, they're gone. So as we get into this round, they're going to poke and prod. They're going to be a little bit more careful, but there is going to be a small duel over in B main, and Zi-Fi will win it out. Take down Iffy, which is a great start. Put it back into their front foot. Cheese Wedge as well gets Eco-Babe.
Enemy killed.
Axrid, they're gonna have to deal with them. The monster is running 22 and 13. Zi-Fi finds a second. Obama Fortnite though picks up Axrid. I said he was a monster, need to be dealt with. Pike. 1v2. They don't know where anyone is at, but They will spot at one. They won't. Oh, that timing is massive. Spike is down in B main. They're going to have to do something about it. Zi-Fi is sitting there waiting for them. If they can win this duel, this is winnable. But it doesn't happen as Zi-Fi picks up their third for the round, and they keep their team in it 11-12. And I think the economy... Never mind, the economy for Act is still in perfectly good shape.
They were, yep. Oh, some really good shape though for PGR at least, because we see Obama Fortnite with the operator buy, and we've talked about the operator buy from Obama Fortnite in Haven. Hasn't had the best of games so far in a sense, but can make up for it in this round if he's able to put the team on to OT. Though the main player, the main one for PGR is most definitely going to be Lafaya, who is 25-15. Obama Fortnite taking a lot of damage from the Blade Storm that has been used from Axrid. So, pretty good usage from the utility coming out there. Lafia using the teleport to the best visibility. And there goes the paranoia. But it's also used against him from his doppelganger. And that tree's cleared. And now this A side is looking a bit tastier for X Gaming. But as I said, that cheese wedge gets one, dashes, gets killed. And now the plant is going to happen. The A side is cleared up for them. The only thing they need to worry about is this rotation from Heaven. Obama Fortnite overwatching a main with the operator in hand. Not able to find anyone yet though, because he's going to be found by Xrit. Now a 4v2 as well. PGR, they find themselves on the back foot. If you need a clutch, if you need some players to find their footing in this match, to find you a round win when you need it the most, it is no monkey, it is Sci-Fi, but they need to prove it in this round.
Axrid has the angle by one. Sci-Fi, no monkey, though. Find one. It could be a 1v1 situation. Pike secures the final kill. It was close. They were fighting for their lives. The scariest dog is not the biggest. It's not the K9. It's not the bulldog. It's the one that's backed against the wall. But unfortunately, this dog gets taken down by Axe and by Pike. And that will be the series 2-1 for Act.
But it was an oh so close series there. PGR kept hitting all the way till the final blow. And what a way to finish. Oh my goodness. Soren, talk us through that ascent. Admittedly,
crazy.
it wasn't necessarily just ACT dominating. It could have gone either way down to those final last few rounds.
Yeah, really. This series is almost exactly what we expected coming into it, seeing as both these teams were the two undefeated teams. I mentioned it before, and it held true. The first map was a little bit weird, seeing such domination from Act, but coming into the second map, it was very, very close, and somehow this map was even closer. They brought it down to one round away from overtime, and if it really went to overtime, it was anyone's guess. That first half was kind of up in the air, and even towards the later half of that second half, it was also pretty close. So who knows what would have happened if they were just able to secure it and they brought it down. It was a 1v1. So chaos, excitement, just really good Valor across the board.
Good Valorant deserves to be rewarded. So we're giving you, chat, the opportunity to tell us just who was the best player on ground this evening. Below the stream or in the chat, whichever way Twitch does it, you can vote for who your MVP pick will be, and we'll reveal it later on in the post-show analysis. But for now, let's have a quick little talk. We can go across the broad spectrum of the match that we saw tonight. One be starting with you. How well do you think the teams performed, and who do you think stood out for you?
I thought both teams played pretty well. Again, it, like Soren mentioned, it was a bit of a surprising first map from PGR. They didn't quite find their footing up until Haven, and then we got on until Ascent, and then they looked like a complete team for the most part. It was a little bit unlucky. Some players had some rough patches in that game. But if I had to give my MVP to someone, well, that is a hard one, Temporal, because all of these players played very, very well. But I feel like it's either between Pike or Hate. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say either Hato or Axrid. Both of those players had some really impactful moments. Hato didn't have the best of matches statistically, but I felt like he had a big impact throughout all three maps.
I think you can look at the the end of match scoreboard right now. I got it in front of me. Hado, only 11 kills, so but 5 of those first bloods for the team. So instantly, half of the kills they got were putting ACT in an advantageous position in rounds. That's what 24 rounds, so it's just over a fifth of rounds. Which it was Hado opening the floodgates.
Yeah. And again, it was a very impressive showing from him. Axrid having a really solid 3 maps as well for at gaming. Again, a big part as to why they won the first map on Icebox. A huge part as to why they won the match on Ascent. But you can't mention him without mentioning the initiators on at gaming as well. Because without the initiators in this game on those maps of Icebox and Ascent, the duelists would be nothing without them.
Indeed, and some standout performances from the side of PGR as well. Soren, I'm particularly thinking about Lafia. Played 3 different agents across the series. The Viper on Icebox, the Sky on Haven, and then the Omen on Ascent, as we just saw. And both teams, particularly on those final 2 maps, did a stellar job leading the team, particularly on the scoreboard, but just with the utility available as well, ensuring that they had the chance to stay in the round. Saw some great clutches as well near the end of Ascent from Lafia, just trying to keep their team in it as the rounds slowly slipped away from them.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to agree. Axrid probably is my MVP. They had 299 ACS in the last map, which is 1 point off of 300. And if that wasn't the case, they would have 300 across all 3 of their maps. But we would be remiss if we didn't mention Lafia. Lafia was absolutely clinical in that last map. We saw them pull out the quad. That was a 1v3 situation for them. And the amount of just mental will and strength, the grit and determination. We talked about it before, but the experience and being able to keep their head on straight in those situations, not panic, not get flustered, and be able to hand that with that cool, calm, collected manner that we saw, just really shows what kind of player they are. So really can't be remiss to miss them out. But PGR, like you said, put up some really big numbers. Cheese Wedge was a massive performer, maybe not top fragging every game, was getting some really influential kills though, as well as Obama Fortnite. That was a 31 drop in the second map in regulation time, by the way. We didn't even get to like 12 to 11. It finished, I believe it was 9
It was 13. It was 13-11. It went to the final round of so we went to full 24 rounds. But yeah, dropping a 30 bomb like you see in the last match, 25-24, and there were still great performances. So yeah, I think Obama Fortnite, a really good player to point out. PGR as a whole, Icebox, they were looking discombobulated. They weren't winning duels. They were playing very individualistically and just not getting anything done. As the series went on, they actually looked like they got better and better. And I think Obama Fortnite's performance replicates that as well. A bit shaky on that map 1, but then woke up for map 2, helped carry the team across the line, and still showed up strong on map 3. So for PGR, I feel like that bodes well for them going into the later stages of the season, going into playoffs. They've got the endurance, they've shown it. And if you're some kind of weird team that gets stronger as the series goes on, best of 5s are going to be your playground.
Most definitely. Endurance plays a big factor in those best of 5s, but also the momentum and the mental fortitude that you do have. Even despite you losing a map, you find a way to come back. That is the most important. And while PGR didn't win the series, the whole series, it was a very close game on Ascent, and I was very impressed by what I saw from every one of those players. Especially again, like we've mentioned, Lafaya, some of his teleports were just 200 IQ, especially I'm thinking back to that one round where he was able to get a 4K. Just I don't even know where he teleported from. He teleported from somewhere, God knows where on whatever part of the map. Teleported all the way into the back of Boathouse. Nobody from at Gaming's expecting it, and he got a 4K just by isolating the gunfights and hitting his shots. And it's insane to think that somebody who's known as a controller, as your playmaker, as your smoker, is out here just snapping on people like that. It's crazy.
Speaking of controllers, we have the official verdict has come in. The votes are being counted. So I'm in an election mindset. We just had an election here in Australia. It is EcoBat who will be your player of the match this week. A
Oh.
worthy winner of that award. And it's interesting one. We've got 2 weeks, 2 controller players specializing in Omen who have won after Hika last week. So chat definitely recognizing the value that these players bring to the teams.
Yeah. Both him and Lafaya did a great job on the Omen. I felt like for Ecobat, his effect was most definitely noted in his smokes. I felt like his smokes did a very good job, not only on the attack but also on the defense, cutting off lines of vision for the attackers and not really forcing them back, but they didn't have any vision to work off of with those smokes covering their line of sight. And then on the defense, he was able to cut off so many defensive lines of sights that were focused on those attacker entryways. I felt like he did an amazing job. I didn't really see a lot in terms of the teleports, but I did see him use his paranoias in a way of enforcing and enabling Axrid a lot of the time. So I felt like that MVP is most definitely deserved for him.
And we don't want to go past their Viper play as well. It was a specific situation on Icebox that I was noticed. So on the, I believe it's the PGR defensive half, we saw the standard A Vipers pick go down, just blocks off stuff. And then we saw ACT Gaming come and swoop over across on top of the zip line. When it was ACT's turn of defense, Ikabat put down a very similar pit, but they did it from on top of the box where the ropes pass over. And what that meant was when PGR was coming through, they try and zip line through the pit. Because the pit is on the raised box, you can still see their legs in the pit. And someone down the bottom, I think it was Hado, was able to get a couple of kills in the pit. It just shows you the small little mechanics that EcoBat is able to use. They understand the controller role, they understand the Viper role, and they know how to play it optimally to make sure that they give the team the best advantage possible. So really great performance from EcoBat. Great performance from ACT Gaming overall. Before we go, Soren, any last comments on the match?
It was amazing. It was an amazing first match for me to be able to cast and see here at Victoris. I'm really excited to be here. But if this is the kind of level of play that I've seen and what I'm expecting, I can't wait to see even more. I can't wait to see some of these other heavy hitters really go at it because this was absolutely amazing. It was a pleasure.
It was great having you here. 1B, looking forward to next week. We finish off the season. Well, we'll finish off the proper part of the regulation part of the season, of course, not finals, but one more week to go.
Oh, yes. One more week to go, and I feel like week 5 is most definitely one to look at. I know we're looking at week 4 as potentials for like, well, how will the season end based on these week's matches? But I think week 5 will most definitely be a nail biter, at least for me when I'm watching for which teams are playing this week. I'm excited. I'm excited. You know what? I'm very excited for playoffs because we get a best of 5 series, and that means we get a guaranteed 3 maps and maybe even all 5. So I'm excited. I know the viewers are excited. I know you're excited, Tempor. You don't show it, but I know you are.
Oh, look, I know the way that we've done 3 out of 4 stream matches go all the way. So I think you're right. Playoffs, we're going to be seeing 5 map sets the whole way through. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next week. Hopefully we get a Group A match because that is the group that is busted wide open. We have no idea where the teams are going to end there, but that will have to wait until next week. Right now, we're going to send you up to the other channel you can rate. We're going to rate the League of Legends stream. Fear not, though, Valorant fans. Victoris Legends series is tomorrow night, so the fun never stops for us. We will be back next week with VRA, so you can keep abreast of anything Victoris by following the socials, which are linked somewhere below the stream. On behalf of myself, 1B, Soren, our producer, Mr. Fantastic, thank you everyone who tuned in and the players for coming and joining us. Good night.